Unfortunately, you will have to see me and not the beautiful Milmano, but we will get there.
No, honestly, I'm a sight, so it's fine.
People wouldn't be able to focus on the game. They would just be,
Exactly.
oh,
That's how I
oh,
put it down.
we have a crash. Oh,
All right.
we'll do it again. We will do it again.
Right. It's fine. Right, I'm going to try and back myself out because it's going to launch the game itself.
Oops.
Oh!
Sorry.
No, it's fine, don't worry.
We'll get it going. We got this. We're two grown men. We can figure this out.
It's always smarty to know. Have you seen the quote on Boobly? I know when something's plugged in by Smarty.
I have not.
You need to see that one. That's it. Basically, she was trying to set up her computer, which, by the way, she managed to destroy. So instead of paying like $50 or whatever it was to like get it installed for her in the store, she decided to do it by herself. Managed to actually torch the motherboard.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how it went. Fortunately, like when she took it to her friends with it, I think she knows better, but like or whatever, they put it together correctly. And then when she took it back to the store, they were like, "Oh, we have no idea how this motherboard's torched. Like everything's in place." So they gave her like all the parts and everything, or whatever back and everything. So she ended up actually being okay, but such a numpy.
You just are calling people out today. I like it. You're aggressive.
I do it quite a bit. It's people I know quite well. All right, here we are. It's crack on. What we got?
Yeah, so I think I saw this game live, actually. So I'll let you jump in with the speculations. I won't speculate because I know what's going to happen a little bit. But we have Viper and Alice, red and green, versus Noboru and Bustos, Huns and Japanese for each team. And it looks like at the moment we're seeing the TCs dropped. We're going to see Noboru in the lower island, or the lower half of the dumbbell, I suppose. We're seeing Viper scouting around. He's going to drop his TC in an interesting area right across where the little land bridge is. Alice is going to be very close to Viper. And Bustos is going to drop his TC right between Alice and the Viper. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, good God. Okay. Funnily enough, out of all these three TCs, Bustos has got the best one out of the lot in terms of positioning, really, because of food. I mean, right next pack of deer, it's got 2 sheep already, which is, well, Noboru's, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
The sheep is going to be nice for him, but man, that's a really, really tough location.
It's a tough location, but it's actually okay. The way I'm seeing it already is, it's like Bustos has already got a good TC placement in comparison to Viper and Alice, right? So it can immediately start getting the food income a lot earlier, more consistent than those two. So probably got a better start. And then if they can, what Bustos might try and do is try and apply pressure on both of these players. So whilst he's sort of sacrificing himself, slowing down the other two, or doing a decent amount, and if they're smart enough, Noboru can either just get a good economy going himself, or like whatever. Like I think it's quite nice for Bustos in his.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't watch a ton of Nomad, but Bustos is often really aggressive in the feudal age, so he may be able to apply the pressure necessary to slow down Alice and Viper. Noboru isn't usually a huge boomer when I watch him play in Nomad, but in this particular game, you're absolutely right. He's going to have the time and the space to boom up, and his ability to boom in relation to how quickly Bustos gets killed is going to be incredibly important. So yeah, I absolutely agree. We are seeing a dock out for the Viper at the moment. I think everybody's going to start building those. Look at the unfortunate dock for Noboru. Oh my God, do you see that down in the far east, the southeast of the map?
Oh,
yeah, that is.
Oh God,
that is incredibly unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate.
And
but at the same time, I'm kind of surprised he went for that. Let me have a look at his point of view. It's supposed to be about having Rex and not that much pressure, I guess. Like now, this is where I'm struggling. Like, if you see his dock and everything, he should know that there's not a lot of deep sea like water. Like when he's going to put it down, you can see a little small puddle, but he knows that's part of at the edge of the map. So you should, and of course, the proximity of the the shorefish. I think that was a mistake in general. Like you shouldn't be going for that sort of dock in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either, you can chalk it up to either being really bad play or a really unfortunate play. I mean, I don't think he had the reveal on the other side of the shore until the dock was built. So it's, it is hindsight, but I totally agree with you. Now that he knows, I'm sure he's kicking himself like, oh man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least he's not going to be harassed.
Interesting. The other interesting thing is that we've got Huns and Nomad, and now with the Huns, of course, you get 100 less wood. Now that's fine, you put your TC up or whatever, the starting resources, but you can't put the dock up straight away like the other cities can. So for Viper in this situation, luckily he found those extra 4 sheep, and he actually even donated 2 to Alice, very kind of him. But if he didn't have those 2 sheep, 3 sheep he actually started off with, then he would be in a lot of trouble because, well, then you had to get a dock down, but you can't get the dock down straight away or even fishing ship out, so it was naturally slowing down, but he's keeping up relatively well. Also, I'm looking at Viper. Crap, I meant Alice.
Okay.
I meant Alice. Ignore me. I meant Alice.
I was so screwed up watching this game live because Alice is usually yellow, and I was like, wow, Alice and Viper are right next to each other, and then I realized, oh, Alice is green in this game. Like I spent the whole time watching it like, oh, Alice and Viper are why are they fighting each other, But I do want to say quickly. Sorry, I do want to say quickly. Thanks for the follow. I didn't see who it was. I will check after, but thank you for following the channel. Go ahead, my friend.
That was a real. That was just me just thinking, saying what a real blunder I'm making. Alice has actually got those 3 balls that has been found. That's actually very nice. So, whilst I was saying, the Hun player might struggle, Alice is fine. So, ignore me. But look at Bustos though. Where's TC? He's 3 bills up. Like comparison to everyone else. I know he hasn't got any fishing ships out because he actually went for the mill first. I think it's like in this situation it's okay, but that's doing quite all right.
I mean, if this is you, if you're Bustos, and let me look at Bustos' Fog of War here real quick, see if he knows about those. He doesn't. Well, he knows he can see the boars from Alice's TC, so he knows there's a TC there. I mean, how are you going to go about trying to take this gold in the middle, or are you just going to abandon ship and try to find gold elsewhere? That gold in the middle between the 2 TCs seems like a rate limiting step for Bustos to win.
If he can stop them from getting it, which is very achievable, then that's great for him. But if he can take that, even better. But I don't think he can take that. It's too contested of an area, really. I don't think he has to be very bold with a tower like that to control it. But if I was Alice like that, and I got gold to the south, you can see there where Viper's going to start taking some deer from. So it's fine. Like they're okay. They got 1 gold in the bag. So
if you're Bustos, you tower that, you break the wrist and walk away. Like you maybe wall it up or tower it and leave.
Every day. If you see that where that tiny little crevices, it'd be the gold of the wood line between Viper and Bustos. You put a tower there, maybe. That would be lovely because that's taking our lumber camp from Viper already. All that wood in the front, it's controlling the gold, which not even Alice could even take as well. That's a beautiful tower spot, I think, and it's out of range from TC too, so nothing could be done about it. And again, you could wall it in very easily afterwards, so that would be a prime location.
Gotcha. Getting some pro advice here. I love watching these games and like working my way through them and trying to, make it fun and enjoyable and chat, but I don't bring the experience that some of you guys do, especially you. So thanks for that. Yeah, that seems like a really good plan. That tower location would be fantastic. I mean, Bustos in the heat of the battle may not see such a play, but if he does, that is going to be a really great boon for him. Sneaking 2 villagers out to the left across the map. You see that action?
Yeah. What's he up to with that, I wonder?
They've got a mean look in their eyes. He knows about that gold that's a little bit far away, so maybe you're right. He's going to maybe try to pressure that gold in between the TCs, but go across the map to grab some gold of his own.
That's smart. He's going to. That's what he. Even Viper spots that. He's like, I don't think the TC's up there. That's actually really like nice awareness from Viper. He knew it wasn't like a TC's placement up in the north, like of where Bustos was. But he knows the Ville there. It's like, okay, there's a Ville roaming or something like that. That's how good like these players are. Like to me, I'll be like, shit, there's a guy up there. Oh crap, Viper lost the Ville. Okay, well he knows where the TC is now.
Yeah, so Viper did see those Villes up there. He was engaging one of them. He doesn't know where that gold is yet with his Fog of War, but I'm sure he knows what's going on up there. I mean, it's the Dark Age. They're, those vills can only be doing so many things. So seeing a vill or two up there from Bustos is going to be an interesting thing that he's going to probably try to respond to. I do see that corpse of Viper's vill, and it does look like Bustos has put a couple palisades up. But for the moment, Alice is going to take that gold on the front.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, now I know it's TC's here. The good thing is Alice is on the way up first.
Yes.
I'll be interested what Alice is going to do, because Alice could drop a tower of her own, or I don't know if it's a she. But Alice could drop a tower of her own, and that'll be great too. I mean, again, it'll take out the wood line from Bustos, and in Bustos' situation as well, where is he going to go for the wood line if he gets pushed off it?
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah,
Alice is really great at
a lot of
walling
trouble.
people in. I love watching Alice play. Like, sometimes she'll sneak a villager out at like the 8 villager stage in the Dark Age and just wall her opponent's TC, like wall all around it so they can't get out. And she's doing that on the northern part of Bustos' area, and the Viper is actually walling up the land bridge. Are you seeing that?
yeah, that's smart.
So they're going to have Bustos isolated. I'm sure they probably figured out, since they haven't seen Noboru, that they have Bustos isolated and they just have to take him down. And if they can keep that center area walled up, they'll be just fine. But it does look like there's an opening on that smaller little skinny land bridge. You see that, where the 2 trees are?
Yeah, I see that, but I'm more looking right now at this tower drop being put down by both players. Alice is doing it, correctly. Oh, there's a gap because of not even from the deletion of Palisade. Oh,
Yeah, there's a gap on both sides.
That tower's going to go up, and that's going to deny Alice's tower, clearly.
Yeah, Alice is going to lose. She's going to have to delete that tower. Going to be pushed away. Not going to lose a vill there, but is going to lose the middle. That tower is not fantastic from Bustos, but it's good enough. I mean, he had to quickly react to Alice's tower, I think, right? Did Alice initiate that?
It was pretty much at the same time, I think. In this situation, because both got up at the same time, Alice it's like Bustos wasn't confident enough in going that forward with the tower. So he's just playing a little bit safer, knowing that you can still get the key objective of the gold. So that's perfectly reasonable by him, I think. And he's actually on the way up to castle. Wow, okay, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, Bustos really doing a nice job here to be the first person to click up while, building a defensive tower, while trying to roam around to find gold. At the moment, though, you see the villagers rushing down the gold there from Alice.
Yeah, they're going to start fighting. And interestingly enough, Alice had to delete that tower, of course, but didn't save enough stone to drop another one. I mean, I'm 115, so can't drop another tower. That's actually quite big. So, but he will push up these villagers from the goal, which again is very nice.
Yeah, I think I want to see what the Viper's fog of war is. I would assume, no, he does know about that other land bridge. He didn't wall it, but my assumption would have been that the Viper thought that he was going to wall in Noboru, and they could kill Bustos, and just denying Bustos' gold with all-out aggression by Alice would have been a great play, because Bustos can't hold his own without any gold. But since that land bridge is open, it makes me wonder what the plan is here.
Yeah, I'm interested. Viper's got a lot of fish. Team fish, nice big fish boom coming out from him. But it was necessary though, because he had no other alternative sources of food. Alice took all the 3 boars. He had a couple of sheep, so that's actually very nice from him. It's tucked far away into this corner, so not much chance. Oh,
Lots of scouts here from
Noboru's got
Noboru.
scouts?
Yeah.
What? What? Two state? Okay. Okay. All right. That's new.
Yeah, so
That's
Noboru, instead of choosing to really full-on boom out, go to Castle Age, quickly seems to be investing quite a lot in scouts. There's 6 or 8 of them on the field at the moment. Actually, 10 military units.
I have no idea why he's doing that. That's new. I mean, I'm no way by any means a nomad expert at all. I'm not very good at it, but I don't ever really see Japanese scouts in particular going out.
I wonder if
2 stables as well.
I don't want to give too much credit to the Viper. It worked out in his favor. I wonder if he left that land bridge open on purpose and wanted Noboru to come through and try to get some aggression on. Because
he was trying to bait him through.
I just wonder if could that possibly be the case? Because now that Noboru's through with all these scouts, we're both saying, well, you think, and I agree with you, those scouts are a really bad investment. And if you're Noboru,
Yeah.
you see that one last piece of land, maybe you decide, like, I better go for it. You know, you have to make that quick decision. But man, those are really not going to be effective, at least from what I can see. Alice is moving out to a wood line up above her TC. If Noboru can find that, that's going to be a couple of dead vills. But yeah, I don't think he's going to get a lot of pressure on Viper's TC with those.
Yeah, he's got scale barding armor, so they can tank up a little bit more against the TC fire, but yeah, okay, he's doing some decent rates. A couple of vills off here and there. Alright, okay, so where I'm seeing this, scouts, what's, of course, you can see Viper's dropping down a monastery, and these scouts will be particularly useful. It's just, I just don't know whether or not it's going to be that impactful enough. He is, in all fairness though, doing a lot of harassment on Viper. Like, look at Viper, he's 25 vills. He has got 15 fish, however, so that's fine, but...
Yeah, you can see the Viper trying to drop a second TC. He is going to get a palisade up just in time to block those scouts from coming across. That could have been tragic. If Noboru had denied that TC, it would have been a big play. And I think you're right. The fact that he is picking on Viper particularly is important here because Viper is in the Castle Age already. He can start streaming out units against Bustos, but because of the harassment from Noboru, he's at least stymied for the moment. He's going to be slower. I do see fire ships on the water. Have you seen any of that aggression? I'm not sure who's winning the water at the moment.
Water's pretty contested, but the fire ships going out from Bustos is quite nice. It's putting a little bit of pressure on Alice, but Alice is on the way up, so the fish have done their job and really getting that economy going. Viper's fish is going to be fine. So yeah, you know, Viper and Alice are doing a really good job in this, and the fact that their food economy is very stable. Point. That's actually really key. And oh, a tower coming up from Noboru. Look at that tower. Oh, that's nice. But it's getting converted. He bought it in. It gets converted.
Gonna lose that villager.
Oh.
Yep. It was really nice. He walled it in so that the scouts couldn't come and harass. Or sorry, not the scouts, but the spears or any action from the other players would have been denied. But yeah, Viper with the conversion. It's amazing what a conversion can be worth sometimes, you know? Like, you convert a villager, that's really only worth food, but depending on what that villager's doing, that can be incredibly valuable to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In that situation, that was really key. It was slightly a bit in a poor position from Noboru, maybe, because he has got a lot of scouts in all fairness there. I think maybe we could have taken a couple of them just to protect that bill, knowing there's a monastery nearby from Viper, just so we can basically zone out that monk from doing any conversion.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like you said, that tower was going to be in an incredibly effective location, so you should probably, you know, in hindsight, of course, you should probably, you know, relegate some of your army to making sure that it goes up. But you got to take risks, I suppose. Viper saying he's going to convert the siege. So we know what his plan is. Redemption on the way. Yeah, Bustos' area is just looking tighter and tighter now that he's building some buildings in there. It's looking really rough for him. He has built out. You can see that TC to the north. He's on gold and stone up there. So he's going to be okay resource-wise. But the boom of Noboru is going to be a lot slower than we expected because of those scouts in the towers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bustos with some good harassment. Yep, go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, I'm just saying, Bustos doing some good harassment with mangonels on the wood line of Viper. He is going to be targeting down that monastery, but he needs to keep an eye on those, because look, there goes the conversion of the mangonel. Those mangonels seem to convert incredibly quickly.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice RNG. Little conversion of... Yeah, this is not looking good for Noboru's team. This is... not how I envisaged it, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Unfortunately for Bustos, he's going to lose both of those mangonels, and those mangonels took a shot or two. They might have taken a villager or two down. We see a conversion or two from Viper, and it seems like it's going to be an issue. People saying that hearing our voices together are creeping them out.
Yeah, I can imagine a little bit. Now, so Noboru's going to go for knights here, and I don't like this decision. The reason why I don't like this for Japanese to go knights in this particular occasion is, one, Viper's got a lot of monks coming out already. 2, if they really wanted to, you know, Viper could put a lot of spearmen, could go to pikemen, and with that Japanese attack bonus, just shreds those knights. So this is a wasted venture, I think, from Noboru to go into knights. Point.
Yeah, I think he might have just decided that, hey, I've built these stables for that scout aggression. I might as well continue to build cavalry. But like you said, it's not going to be terribly effective because there's, 4 or 5 monks there just hanging out waiting to support these mangonels. So if those knights try to run in and snipe or something, they're going to be dead. I wonder if Noboru is telling Bustos to maybe delete a palisade there. If he was going to try to snipe, he obviously wants to run through Bustos' area to do it, right?
Yeah. Guys. Bustos has moved up to the top though, which is now, I guess, relocated his economy, knowing that he's going to lose it. Oh, but look at these scouts. I might try and find his TC being built here by Alice and could get picked off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Bad there for Alice.
Yeah, Alice is going to lose quite a few of those vills. None of them are going to be quickly palisaded in and protected from the scouts, so they are all going to be dead. Yeah, and that TC is on maybe 75%, 65%, but it's not going to be up. But the big, I guess the most important thing going on right now is the Viper with double mangonels on the TC of Bustos on the front with all those monks. That's looking really painful to Bustos.
Yeah, I don't know why he's trying to get TC up. I think he's just trying to buy time so he can get those villagers out in the end. But for the first time, those scouts have actually done some good work. I mean, from what they were created, 10, 15 minutes ago, finally they were actually used something for actual kills.
Yeah, and to your point, Bustos is doing a good job transporting those vills out 5 at a time, 4 at a time. Just trying to get them out across. We see a watchtower coming down from Noboru on the gold of Alice, but Alice has already evacuated that gold due to Bustos' mangonel, which is in proximity there. But as we said, the big thing going on here is that triple mangonel and some knights that I assume Viper converted. He might have built those, but I wouldn't be surprised if many of those were converts. Did you see that by chance when it happened?
I wasn't looking. I was looking at Noboru's economy. But no, I think any got converted. It looks like I don't know. I heard the noise. So this is pretty tough. I feel. Because Bustos and Noboru are now separated completely, completely on technically other sides of an island, right? And Alice and Viper are together, so they can coordinate a lot better. I feel, for one thing. But second of all, Viper will probably won't be too far from going up, I think. I mean, look at his resources. He just spent a lot of food, but he was looking good.
Do you see the Viper? He's converting all those buildings. Like instead of trebbing or mangoneling them down, he's just gonna convert all those buildings, just to be annoying.
Damn right. Damn right, but we might put them to good use. Oh, well, the second blacksmith is always helpful. Double blacksmith.
Yeah.
The mill, of course, if you want to get a farm there later on, I mean, it gets some value.
Alice has a few knights in the economy of Bustos, and there it is. Yeah. Yeah, so a nice little game. A good little teaser, a little something to keep us going while we wait for a live game to get started. Yeah, really tough.
That was a good game.
Really tough game for Bustos. I mean, played it fairly well, but man, I mean, just sandwiched in there from the very beginning. Pretty tough one to claw back from.
Yeah, I think Bustos did a good job. I don't really got a problem with Bustos this game. I think he was in a tough position. He did the best that he could. He got up very well actually to that castle age. I think the problem was Noboru. I don't want to be heavily critical, but because I am nowhere near at all a good player. But problem I found with Noboru that game is that he went for 2 stable scouts. I could see the thinking in his head. He was thinking, right, if he goes siege and monks, whatever, and I go scouts, then what on earth can they do about it? Because I'm going to just shred it sort of together. But it just didn't plan out. And the reason being, I think it's very tough to make the scouts work like that. Especially Japanese scouts. And I keep saying that. They got no bloodlines. He had +1 armor, but at that point, when you got Japanese spin coming out from Viper, they're just going to shred that thing. So I honestly think that if Bustos was just a nuisance to them, to both of them, and then just let noboru just go up to Castle Age, just go 3-4 TCs, and then at some point bustos just bleeds out or just like abandons ship basically. And then to a degree, and then I think maybe a good chance in the game, because whilst he's trying to get back into the game, Noboru can try and just clean sweep, because Japanese, once you get into that like Castle Age, early Imperial onwards with a full free boom, just like monstrous, really.
Yeah, I really want to know if that was intentional. I'm sure it wasn't from the Viper, but that leaving that one little land bridge open to tell Noboru, like, hey, if you want to come in and try to help your teammate, man, I just wonder. It's probably not intentional, but I dream such things. Let me quickly say thanks to Chaiski, I don't know how to pronounce your name, and COM for the win. I don't know if that's Comfort W or if it's Com4 for the win, but anyway, thanks for following, guys. So what should we try to do next? Do you want to see what's going on live? Maybe we can find a cool live game.
I'm down for whatever. I'm gonna get a beer though in a second. So
do your thing. I'll snoop around.
I'm fine. Once you decide, I'll then just like run downstairs. So I won't be too.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I need to leave a room or not.
Well, I'm gonna look for a replay for the moment. I didn't see any obvious live games going on, but yeah, maybe we find another replay. Tons and tons of Nomad being played lately. Just absolute. If you love Nomad, right now is the best time to be playing AOC. There's just everybody's playing it. All the cool kids.
Yeah, all the cool kids. Well, it's a nice change generally, because we've had this big 1v1 invitational tournament. Yeah. And other tournaments like Arena and so on. So I think some players who are quite well mixed in their skills could just like, let's just do some Nomad for a bit. Everyone goes through like phases, whatever. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool phase. Thank you, Weedo25, for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm just looking through a few recs. We're going to wait for the live game to happen. I am here with the man with the master plan, Milmano. We're just screwing around, just trying to find a couple games going on. Man, so much Nomad. Everybody I look at is playing Nomad. Slam, Mentalist, Viper, Degao. Everybody's on it right now.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where it's like when all these pro players come online or whatever, and then like there's like a lobby like just like of a Nomad, and it's like, let's just jump in, and everyone else just sort of jumped in, and they all start playing Nomad for a bit.
Yeah, I think it's.
And then we'll go through a phase where like there's a Team Game Arabia, then people just start playing Team Game Arabias and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really. It's a good community, right? Like, I mean, imagine yourself as like a 2.2K rated player or 2K rated player. There's only so many of, your peers around, people who can play the game at as high of a level as you. So, they become your friends. I'm sure you get a whole lot of exposure to that group of people, and there's your friends. They're all playing in a game. Why not join them, right?
Yeah.
So I have a Chris replay that we can go through. Or we can, we can wait and see what happens.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. I'll download this, and if we don't see anything crazy going on live, we can go through this. Yeah, grab a beer, man. Grab a beer. Yeah, so thank you guys for being in the stream today. I don't know, random stream, just decided that, ended up fishing this morning, ended up having to stop a little bit early because of some bad weather. And yeah, just figured, I don't know, I'm here. The old ball and chain isn't here, so I might as well get crazy with a little bit of streaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hope you guys all find that noise as creepy as I do. Absolutely love that noise. Let me check real quick who that was. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. That was Warrior Yoda. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. All right. So I have a game that is Chris. This is from just a few days ago. I am slowly going to get it ready. We'll get things going. If you guys want a bathroom break, this is a great time. I don't know why you would even need to know that. Just take your phone to the bathroom with you. Is that how much of a faux pas do you guys consider that? Like if you're watching some Twitch in the ladies' room or the men's room, I have no problem with it. Yeah, let me know what you think. Maybe that's going to be the end of my channel. Maybe that is career suicide for me. Well, can't really call it a career. Fishing. I knew that Killer Bee just turned on a Smurf for Ra. Hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Oh, the creepy voice. I love that creepy voice.
What, Smarties? I know.
Did you see the comments about Smarthy's voice in the Call to Arms games? That was awesome.
Sadly, I wasn't there, but it was really good.
It's hold on, let me find this rec real quick, and I'll click on it so I can. I want to directly quote. I don't want to be one of these people who just spread some hearsay. So let's.
I like you. You like to back it up. I like that.
So if I click on this Call to Arms thing, oops, I'll turn that sound off with Smarthy. We go down to the comments. Oh, they got to load for just a second. Thanks for the follow. Hope you like the creepy voice. Swiss and Forrest, welcome. Welcome to the swarm. Oh, man, I'm going to stop saying that. That's just weird.
Oh my God.
The comments are not loading for me. That's really... Oh, here we go.
I've just seen it. Game one. Smarty sounds like a hottie. And then you put +1 to this.
Well, I mean,
I mean, it's factually correct.
Yeah, exactly. I just couldn't believe, like... I don't know, just calling someone a hottie just seems like... It seems like it's A, 1990, and B, we're in middle school or something, But... All right, I'm ready to launch. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You were born ready. So we'll turn the overlay off, and we will jump into another game. So this is Chris and QL Rook. This is an Arabia Huns War. Why not? Why not do an Arabia Huns War after a Nomad game and some mega random? So we have Chris in green, Rook in blue. Looks like, as we said, a Huns War. Going to be a pretty normal start. Of course, you all know what's going to happen in the Dark Age. Just to look quickly at the maps, we can see Chris in green is going to be at the top. He's going to have stone and berries on the back. As far as his main gold, it's going to be on the front and kind of in a little bit of an awkward location. His secondary and tertiary golds also, well, they just suck. Let's just say that. Meanwhile, Rook is going to have berries on a downhill slope, stone on a downhill slope, gold on the front. Man, these are some ugly maps. Which would you rather have? Which would you rather have here?
Oh, well, the good thing for Kyo, at least he's got a backwood line that's not that terrible. I mean, the same thing goes for Chris. He's got some decent woodline around him. I'd probably go, just from the looks of things right now, Chris's map. Because of the fact that he's got backberries, backwood, he's got some backstone too, which is not that big in Huns Wars, but it's still something. He has, like, the gold's a big issue, and the reason why it's a big issue is not just because the main gold's on the front or from his base, but his second and third one is too. So if Rook just decides to come in with some seriously heavy aggression on his front, and he's just lost access to all three golds, and then he has to sort of basically either use the market to go up in this situation, or try and expand out to find the extra golds, which is very hard to do so unless you find it in the Dark Age. So, but on the flip side, however, again, if he managed to get to the castle like in a normal standard Hun War, let's say, if he can TC that main gold and he can secure at least some decent map control, he's quite good in the fact that he's got those three golds near him. So, one of those sort of like flip side things you can get.
So I'm a noob. You can jump in and tell me if this is a terrible idea, but if I saw this and I had enough time to actually make a good decision, I would wall that little gap between the trees if I'm Chris, and then I would put my military buildings very close to that gold so that when I do get rushed by the other player, at least I could reinforce quickly. Does that sound terrible to you?
No, it doesn't sound terrible to me. I think that seems actually fairly reasonable. Yeah, I think you can do that. If he wants to just put a palace like there and then just sort of lay out your buildings on the front. I mean, also at the same time, again, Chris can put down a defensive tower on that gold spot if he wants to, so.
I can't stop laughing. Pyrosaurix in the chat says, I think this is going to be a Civ win. This game's over. Interesting downhill
yeah.
boar lure there from QL Rook, using the scout to block, doing a nice job. 3 villagers on wood for both players, so we will probably not see any incredibly early aggression. Rook's going to grab Loom, excuse me, going to grab Loom after that boar lure, but he will have Loom at the moment on 12 vills, Chris on 13. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's grabbing Loom so early. Maybe his economy was a little bit out of whack.
Yeah, this happens to me all the time. It's terrible. But when he was luring that boar in and so on, that it's basically it wasn't as clean as it could have been. And what I mean by that is that he had like 36 food. So when that villager then popped out after taking the boar, you know he couldn't basically make another villager. So it's for efficiency's sake, he had to get loom. So that means he can then continue the build production. It's a common problem, to be fair, I think, in a lot of players, like just not those clean timings. It's all about the timings, really, because you want to basically finish that sheep up as that boar comes in, so that you maximize the food efficiency, and of course you can keep the build production up. So yeah, that's the reason why I got loom.
Yeah, nice little lure in there for Chris downhill. Pretty decent boar lure. He wasn't in danger of dying, but I would have died, so I gotta give him some props. Yeah, we'll see how much of a difference that makes in uptime. You know, presuming that both of these guys go 21 vills up in this game, we'll see if Chris might be a little bit faster. You know, his economy's been working a little bit harder. Should be a little quicker to 500 food. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. If we look at the scouting, Rook has come forward. He has found the TC of Chris. Chris is coming forward now. He is getting close to Rook's area as well. Rook is going to find that main gold. He's probably going to smile that his horrible map is at least matched by his opponent. And Chris will do the same. He's going to walk into the gold and probably find the main stone as well of Rook on the front. And that should be really nice. Both players know what the score is now. That this game is going to be very fair. I think that's the way I would put it. We have one rogue chopper for Chris who's gone way, way up to the top. But
no, that's annoying.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
He'll probably drop a lumber camp there. So I think that's what his plan's going to be. He'll drop a lumber camp there to make it a 2 lumber camp split.
Touche. Yeah,
it's a good lumber line to do so. So I think that's what he's going to try and do.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, there goes the lumber camp. We see Chris up to feudal, 7 minutes 36 seconds. He is on 20 vills with loom. We are going to see Rook. Looks like Rook is going to build one more vill. That would be my guess. One more vill on the way. That vill is up. He is now clicked up to feudal age, and it will be both players loomed. Rook will have one more vill, and he will be 30 seconds behind. So he really didn't lose a lot with that early loom as far as timing goes. But he did have to wait one more vill to click up.
Yeah. So just 2 different strategies, basically, to a degree. With 21 pop-up, you generally... that's standard stuff until, 21 fill up. So in Rook's case, that's standard these days, 22. The 21 pop-up is a more of an aggressive play to a degree that basically trying to secure that map control earlier on. So you want to get that up earlier up times, so you can get the stable down a little bit earlier, and so on and so forth. You only sacrifice that because you're 1 bill less, you're getting a little bit less resources in, so your economy does take a bit of a bigger hit. And what I mean by that is that unless you've got it perfectly placed down, or you've taken some deer, then you're going to struggle to keep scouts production up whilst keeping everything else up at the same time. So we'll see how Chris does with this.
I haven't seen either.
All right, go ahead.
I haven't seen either player pushing deer. Have you noticed that? I saw some deer on Chris's side. He might have pushed one, but I haven't seen a whole lot of deer being pushed early in the game. 3 villagers on a stable there right away in the feudal age for Chris, so that's going to go up really quickly. We'll have to see how quickly Rook can respond to that.
And you should be scouting. You can see that the stable's coming up very quickly. Three on the stable, again, exactly what I'm trying to point out, that he's trying to be quite aggressive here, get that stable up. But the same thing coming out from Rook. He knows that he needs to get his stable up immediately too. That's fine. The positioning of it, it's okay. I understand it. It's not bad.
Yeah, those scouts are going to be out early, of course, for Chris, but I'm not sure how much they can get done. The berries could certainly be palisaded in pretty quickly. The wood line seems awfully, it's a very tight wood line, so a spear or 2 over there should be enough to defend. I think that I don't know that those scouts are going to be incredibly effective, but I guess we'll see. Why speculate? It's going to happen, right?
Yeah. It's like the barracks don't need to really be palisaded in. The barracks and stable is very close by, so the spearmen already popping out and the scouts being nearby as well should be enough to protect it. You're right about the wood line, nice and compact, so 1 or 2 spears for now should do fine. But he's not going to do that. He's going to probably stick it close to the deer where he's taking. That's more important at this stage. That will be, of course, a much target for Chris's scouts, and you can see that already.
Yeah, and those scouts are now in. The villagers are going to push away. Those scouts, Spearman is going to do a good job to push them away as well. 2 scouts in play for Rook, in addition to his initial scout, who is still halfway across the map, figuring out what else is going on in this map, just in case this one goes long term. And yeah, we're seeing back at home, Chris is pretty, well, he's obviously unharassed. He has 1 spear out that I can see. He is focusing on the aggression. 4 scouts in play now for Chris, and we'll see what they can get done. I mean, Palisades coming up to block toward the TC on the woodline side for Rook. So Rook is going to be good until he decides it's time to take that gold. He's going to have to do something, of course, against these scouts, but maybe a few spears will be able to win the day for him.
Yeah, he'll probably tower it as well. I won't expect anything less. Generally, he doesn't feel secure either at this point of his base. I mean, he's keeping being very defensive with his army, not going out to try and raid or even scout out what's going on. He needs to scout out what Chris is up to, because you can't spend all this time in the feudal age at this point just sitting at base. I know it doesn't sound so critical, but the reason why is that you see like Viper do it, instead of scout or even a spearman out, just so he knows what his opponent's up to, because like information's everything. You need to know what your guy's up to or what he's planning.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And you can see, Chris is now putting down some gold. He's going to transition into some archers, which is not, not unexpected, but still, it's better to know than to not know. You can see also that Chris has closed down a couple of the angles of attack with palisades on the right side of his TC. He's got a huge palisade that's going to come up on the left side. So Chris is going to be happy as a clam. He's almost doing like, how sometimes you drush and behind your drush you wall up? He's doing a feudal pressure, and behind his feudal pressure he's walling everything up. He has no incentive to get in there and try to really put a ton of pressure on Rook. He just wants to keep him defensive. And he has the information. Rook doesn't have any. I think Chris is in a really good spot here. Europe loves that wall.
Yeah, I think he's doing a super job. Yeah, at this point, let's see how his engagement goes. Yeah, it's just poking and prodding, see what they are sizing up basically at this point.
Yeah, a little flirtation in the middle. A couple spears coming in play. Go ahead.
Playing footsie there. Oh god, that wall. Jesus Christ. Okay.
So Rook has bloodlines, and Chris hasn't noticed. He took an engagement against bloodline scouts there for a little while. But yeah, go ahead. You were saying about that big wall?
It's just like, that's inefficient.
Oh, yeah.
You could have easily done it to the other wood line and across, but he doesn't know that, which is, again, is a bit of a shame, so fine, though. Look at it walled up.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a
You
problem.
were right, by the way, about the walls to the gold, so...
Oh, yeah, we are going to see that gold actually fully walled in, and Chris is going to do a good job.
Theory crafting?
I can't take credit. I was actually thinking of something a little bit different, but this is better than what I was thinking of course.
Oh, right. I thought that's what you were thinking. I was like, I think this.
Actually, on second thought, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Right.
I saw Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if you noticed, but I think Chris was researching bloodlines, and then after he took that really bad engagement against Rook, he canceled it. Did you notice that? I think he canceled that research partway through. So he's decided to basically throw that money into archers and throw that money into getting to Castle Age, and he's lost the initiative on the scouts, and he knows it.
Oh, to a degree. I mean, he's sort of come out on top. I mean, look at the amount of army from Rook. He's only got 4 scouts very heavily injured, and with bloodlines, he hasn't got bloodlines. I think he may have lost a couple of scouts, Chris, but he still came out on top, I think, in terms of overall damage, I think. So I think he's all right. And now he knows that he's fully walled in. Practically, he's already got archers being queued up and very safe. It's why do I need to get bloodlines at this point? I can try and click up a little bit earlier, then get the bloodlines for the cav archers or whatever. So
Absolutely.
got no threat to him at this point, so he doesn't need to get the bloodlines, I don't think.
Yeah, and you can see Chris is going to sneak around with those scouts to the side. He's not going to find anything there, but at least he's keeping active against his opponent. Meanwhile, Rook is just now finding out that this whole area is palisaded in and that there is a double archery range with something garrisoned. I wonder if those archers, well, they're not going to pop out against 5 Bloodline scouts, but at some point they may become a factor in guarding those walls. Those walls are going to be just fine. Just a quick shout out in the chat. Regolith, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so we're going to wait and see who clicks up to castle first, I suppose. And at the moment, it's going to be Rook. Rook has quite a bit saved up. Oh, Chris has already clicked. My bad.
Oh, 1 second. My cat is being a pain.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, it left. It left. It's okay.
Crisis averted. Yeah.
For now. For now.
We need to get a cat picture of yours if you're interested. We're putting up mostly cat
right,
photos
okay.
on my channel.
I'll see if I can try and link the picture in.
Awesome. Yeah, so 2
That
more
would be
archery
bad.
ranges from Chris. He has deleted a palisade to get his scouts and his army back inside for the moment, I suppose. Or maybe he's coming out. I'm not sure what he deleted that palisade for. He's actually going to rebuild it. And yeah, it seems like Chris really has the initiative, grabbing fletching, has a few archers. The score at the moment is in Rook's favor. Military units are about equal. I don't know why I'm giving the advantage to Chris. It just feels like he has an advantage. Double archery range back at home for Rook. Quite a few archers there as well. They are not upgraded yet. And here comes Chris's push across the map. We'll see how this engagement goes for him.
No, you're absolutely right on the feeling of the fact that he's got the advantage. And the reason why you feel that is because the fact that Chris is dictating the tempo. What I mean by that is that, look, he's setting the pace of this game. He's already walled up. And Rook is just basically reacting to everything he's doing. You can look at the minimap or look at this right now. You can see that Rook's trying to chase, and then when he's coming back out, he's away. Or basically, he's just falling into like Chris's game plan at this point, which is perfect. And the other thing is as well is that he has to tower up because again, he can't wall his own base up or protect the goal very well, so he has to get a tower up. Chris is completely fine, so. It's all going very well for Chris, but it can easily change, so he has to be careful.
Yeah, at the moment he's having a little trouble getting toward those archers that have the hill advantage. Chris is, like you said, Chris is dictating the pace. It looks like cat and mouse in Rook's favor because he's pushing Chris across the map, but Chris has him right where he wants him. You know, like you said, he's walled up. He has an army. He's up to. He's going to have crossbows first. He's going to have bodkin first. He's going to take this engagement right at the perfect moment for him, and not a very good moment for Rook. And here come those scouts and crossbows.
Yeah, he is kiting back relatively well, pick up the scouts as he can. Waiting for his own upgrades to him, but he is losing quite a few archers at this point.
Actually turning out to be a decent engagement there for Rook.
Yeah, Rook did alright there. I think he did okay. Yeah, he did what he needed to do, basically, and hold back.
Chris going for early ballistics, you see that?
Yes, that is. I do see that. That's interesting.
Rook as well with the
Okay.
university.
Yeah, it's just pretty standard for Hun War, I think, just getting at that fast ballistics days. I mean, who wants to micro? Come on.
Not me.
No, definitely not me. Christ, though. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, so Chris has double palisaded up the far left flank, that huge wall that looks incredibly hard to defend. He will have double palisades there, so he'll have time to react if Rook makes it to his side. At the moment, as you said, Rook putting up a tower. He does have 88 stone. Is he taking stone somewhere? I wonder if he just walked over and took a little from that adjacent stone pile. But Rook doesn't have the stone for a TC. Chris obviously having the stone for 2 TCs, but not the wood at the moment. Chris on the hill taking a really good engagement, having ballistics already as far as I can remember. Is that true? I think Chris has ballistics now.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah. So ballistics still not in for Rook. Bloodline's coming for Chris, and he's on the hill. He's got a really great position here. This is going to be a good engagement for him.
Yeah, he's playing it well. He's understanding the map at this point. He realizes that this hill that they're on right now, the plateau of the hill, is extremely important for both of them. More importantly for Rook, really, than for Chris. But he's secure, basically. Rook's. So yeah, if Chris can dominate this hill point, it makes it a lot harder for Rook.
Very similar armies right now. I mean, almost identical compositions at the moment. So it is turning into who's going to do a little bit of a better job with their, well, The micro war is over. The ballistics are in, but it seems like Chris is pulling back. He's going to return and engage just those crossbows for a second. He's going to get a few of them for relatively cheap. They're going to retreat and be reinforced by cav archers by Rook. And for the moment, this is a bit of a stalemate in the middle. Ooh.
Yeah, it's sort of like Chris is coming out on top of this, as you can already see the military count 13-7. Quite big. Rook's getting Thumbering. Now, that's a really good upgrade. Especially for these more static battles that they're having, of course. So the Thumberings would be huge. He just needs this mass at this point, I think. Hasn't got it currently. I think he's wasting a couple of engagements he just had just then. He's got this tower here, which is really nice. He needs to realize that, and he needs to make sure that he just... I know he doesn't want to give up the hill, but at the same time, he's throwing a lot of units away, so he has to be careful what he's doing.
Chris able to get a second TC up in a 4-villager advantage at the moment, so he's able to keep that engagement on the front, an offensive engagement for him, but back at home he is double palisaded. He's got 2 TCs up, 3 TCs up. He's in really, really good shape now.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Yeah, he's just picking up bills. Again, this is pulling his advantage even further. He just killed 4 villagers. Oh, I was gonna say 4. Okay, just 3. But yeah, he's pumping out 2 more bills technically, and he just killed 3. So now it's a 9 bill lead. So it's just getting a little bit out of hand at this point.
Yeah, 9 villager advantage and just no harassment at all of his eco. Like, I mean, I can imagine his idle time is incredibly low right now. His villagers haven't had to run from any duress. And he's in really good shape. The score at the moment is plus 500. That seems to be pretty accurately reflecting how this game is going. Rook with a pretty aggressive TC on that gold to the side. Do you see that?
Yeah, I'm more looking at this fight at this point. That's not the best of engagements for Rook. I mean, the Thumbering's really helping out, but he's still taking a fight where he's downhill and less numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to lose a lot there, and Chris is going to, grab a lead skirmisher, so he can defend if he needs to. If he were to lose this foothold he has on the front of Rook's area, he could definitely defend anything that happens. And there is the GG.
Yeah, he knew that he was just too far behind. He just knew that probably either Chris has got more TCs up, or anyway. The point being is that this game, Chris just played as again dictated the tempo. You know exactly what he wanted to do, executed it well. Rook kind of just sort of fell in for it, and I don't blame him. It's one of those games where like he has this map in comparison he can't wall like Chris did, and he has to basically try and go for like to his hill. He put too much into it to a degree. But I don't even think it's that. I think it's the fact that he just made some poor engagements by his tower. This tower of his was really important for him to use to his advantage in terms of fighting with it, not against it. But he was downhill sort of, and then without a tower, it's just like, why, you know. That's my thinking anyway. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree that engagement could have gone a little bit better for him, but in general, yeah, man, that was just such a tough map. Like, all downhill main resources on the front. Ooh, just a really, really tough map. If he had seized the initiative in the beginning, he would have had a much better chance, speaking about Rook. But, yeah, I mean, in the end, he just sort of got worn down chunk by chunk. But it happens.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. I mean, I don't blame that at all. I'm not taking anything back from Rook at all. I mean, I think he played fairly well to a degree. It's just those sort of games where if those engagements don't go well for you like that, I know it sounds like really cheap words, but if those engagements don't go well for you like that, then you're just in a dire position. It's very hard to come back from. I think there was one game if I remember ages ago where this guy that was it. It was Yo versus Vinchester, if I remember. And Vinchester had the most ridiculous lead I've ever seen thrown away. Like, I can't remember. I remember it was like Vinchester had like 120 pop. Yo had like 50 or something, and Yo still won. It was one of those games where everyone's like, "How was this thrown?" But yeah. That's another game, but yeah.
Yeah, those games are awesome to watch because we all probably watch a lot of recordings. If you're watching a channel that's mostly recordings on Twitch, then you're probably into watching AOC recordings. So everybody who's hearing this is probably watching lots and lots of recordings. The ones that surprise you after you've seen 1,000 of them and you get surprised by who wins. Like, it's not like you said to yourself, oh, someone has an advantage and they lost it. But you probably say to yourself, this is GG for Yo, and Yo comes back. Those games are what we continue to watch for, right? Like, that's the whole point of what we do.
Oh yeah, that's the dream, sort of like whenever you're like casting, is like get this impossible situation, and you're like, there's no way you can win from this in your head. You're like trying to make it as positive as possible for like someone like Yo, and then Yo pulls off, and you're just like, okay,
yeah,
we just seen something, people.
Yeah, you just have to drop the mic after that if you're Yo, and
well, then put out an apology like Google does. For the open mic Gmail thing. Did you see that? That was quite funny.
I saw the thing in my Gmail. Like, I went to send an email and I saw
really?
oh, you can add this video of the mic drop. But yeah, was that the extent of it? Like, that was their whole April Fool's joke?
Yeah. They had to pull it back and say sorry because some people got sent it without knowing, and then they got one guy got fired as far as he got told. So I think that's a bit excessive, but people were really mad about it. People just don't get the idea of a joke these days. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, it is very unfortunate because, I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy, and sometimes you hear people, there are some people who don't care, who will talk about anything, but you do see comics, like if I go watch a live comic who's local, you can see that they don't want to touch certain political topics because the environment right now is very heated, and it's sad because those are the funniest jokes, the ones that push the line just a little bit.
Yeah, the one that push boundaries. Yeah, they make me laugh a lot as well, generally. So, yeah.
So should we have a go at another? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm down for more. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
I don't know why, but I just for some reason I get into this, I get addicted, and then I look up and I'm like, wow, we just did 3 hours and we didn't even give time for a smoke break or anything. So you just let me know if we're going too fast or maybe too slow, whatever you think.
I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you just get all hooked up in it all. And it's like, I can't end up being this late.
So this game is a 2v2. It's Arabia. It's Viper, MBL, Loiza, No Re, I Go Eat. This is from yesterday. Do you know who No Re, I Go Eat is? Whose Smurf is
Wonder.
that? That's Wonder.
Eighth Wonder.
Yeah, that's what people have told me. So, okay. So you've said it now, so I believe it. So, yeah. You want to jump into that game? 2v2?
Go for it, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Thanks for all the love in the chat. Somebody said that we're doing a good job, and I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully we can catch up with the chat a little later. I haven't been doing a great job, but the chat bridge is connected. Continue to be involved in this and let us know when we screw something up, which we will inevitably do. Meanwhile, this game begins. It will be the Viper and MBL on one team. We'll call that Team 2. Loiza and No Re, who is Eighth Wonder. So Loiza and Eighth. Eighth being the player in blue. And we will have Aztecs and Goths mirror civs. We can see that Eighth is going to be in the top right of the map. His TC is going to be in a decent location with gold on the back and berries on the back. Meanwhile, Loiza, his teammate, will be to his left. Loiza will have berries on the back. The gold for Loiza will be on the front, and that's a really ugly gold pile, but we'll get back to that. Meanwhile, MBL is going to be in teal. Love it when we see teal versus blue, but we're going to stick with it. No team colors this game. MBL is going to have gold on the back and berries on the back, but that gold of his that's on the back is really to the side, and it's not in a good spot. That's downhill as well. Oh no, I'm screwing up. I haven't turned off the overlay. Man, I'm glad I have a chat bridge. Imagine if we did that whole rec and nobody got to see any of it. Sorry, guys.
I did a recording for the YouTube on the official one back ages ago for because there was a situation, I can't remember why now, and I ended up doing the entire overlay on, and when I went back through, I was like, ah, crap. Half an hour was wasted.
So let's do this again real quick. Eighth Wonder will be the player in blue. He will be to the top right of the screen. He'll have his gold on the back in a really nice position and his berries in a nice position. At first blush, that looks like a good map. Loiza will be in green, berries to the back. His gold will be on the front and at a downhill slope, which is not good at all for Loiza. Loiza will be Goths. Eighth Wonder will be the Aztecs player for what we will call Team 1. Team 2 will be the Viper and MBL in teal and in red. MBL here in teal is Goths. He's going to have his gold to the side. It's going to be on a downhill slope as well. That main gold is going to be a little bit tough for him, but the berries are just fine. He has a nice wood line as well. Meanwhile, the Viper in red is going to be Aztecs. He's going to have it's somewhat intermediate map. It's not nearly as horrible as Loiza's map or MBL's, but the Viper's sort of in the middle. So in all, I'd say that that Team 1, Eighth Wonder, and Loiza maybe have a little bit better maps, but I'm not sure that it's going to have a huge impact on the game. And now that I've said a whole bunch and we've turned the overlay off, what's on your mind, Milmano?
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well. With the MBL's done something quite nice here. You can see where he's put his lumber camp. And the reason why he's done that is, like, one, the house where the berries are has been a little bit, yeah, you can still put lumber camp down if you want to. But the real thing is that because where the gold is and the stone is, if he just puts a tower nearby the gold, on top of the gold pile, whatever, he'll cover the wood line to a degree as well. So if he just puts a lump, he basically secures the gold and the wood and also the stone as well, just with one tower if he needs to. So that's why he's put the lumber line there. It's very nice of him. So I think that's quite something nice to point out.
Yeah, that's a good point. And in addition, while you were looking at that, I've also kind of looked at the wood lines, and we can see that all players except for MBL will have 4 on wood, so we might see some early militia action from everybody. Makes sense as Aztecs and Goths, but it looks like MBL may not commit to early aggression. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, mill coming up for MBL, people luring in boars, pretty normal game. You can see that everybody kind of knows the score of who they're going to be against. The scouting for Eighth Wonder is in. There's the Eagle Warrior. He's going to find this wood line and figure out what's going on. Viper with a pretty challenging boar lure there, but having Loom, of course, as Aztecs. And yeah, we continue to work our way through the Dark Age. I don't see anything... You know what I see about this map that really sticks out at me? Eighth Wonder's map is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just a couple of palisades, and he's going to be so safe. But what's tough with 2v2 is you can be safe, but your teammate is not safe, and then you still lose the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that huge advantage, that would be amazing. If this was a 1v1 Arabia game, I would say, oh, Eighth is going to win this for sure. In a 2v2, I guess it really matters if your teammate can also close in. And if we look at Loiza's map here, Loiza's going to have a lot of trouble closing in. Grabbing some gold is Loiza at the moment. That makes sense as a Goths player. He's going to build those 3 militia and drush. And yeah, until we get to that point, I guess we're just working our way through. At the moment, 18 vills for everybody, and we may see a barracks coming up pretty soon for the players who are planning to drush. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Hey, Nimino, welcome. Oh yeah, I do see that barracks coming up. I couldn't find Loiza's barracks there. But yeah. So you can see that MBL can see the drush. I love when players are communicating to each other in the chat because it makes our experience so much better. You see Loiza's miner going back for more gold. Is there a reason for that? Is he going for more? Okay, he's going back to the lumber camp. What sticks out to you in this one that's an obvious point of interest we should keep an eye on? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's fine. I'm just having a look right now. Nothing really catching my eye. Well, I'm just very interested in what MBL's planning here. He doesn't look like he's going to go for a drush himself. Now, that means 2 things. Either he's going to go for scouts, or he's going to go for man-at-arms here from the Goths. I would love to see man-at-arms, but I'm not sure. He's going to put barracks down. Okay, I think he's going to go for man-at-arms or some sort. You know, as the guy's drushing, and you can already see the wall is coming out. This is lovely. I love this. Barracks, the palisade towards the house, and you can probably do some more to the south, to close it off and to sort of basically close out the gold and the wood. That'd be so nice if you can do that.
Yeah, that'll create a nice little pocket for his economy to exist in. And it looks like, for the most part, the distances there will be in his favor. Like, if we ever did see a tower or archers, he would have a lot of his resources that couldn't be harassed until the walls get broken down. Yeah, so people are pumped about you being co-casting. You co-casting with me here. Just want to let you know,
Yes.
love is pouring out to you, my friend.
Ah, that feels good. Feels good. The love.
You're seeing the drush coming in though from Loiza, right? Sorry to interrupt your acceptance of love, but MBL has not been able to close that in, and Loiza's in. So that's interesting, right?
That's very interesting. Yeah, he's trying to go for mana arm
Yes.
play. That's not gonna work out as well as he planned out. I think. Yeah, he's gonna start committing with Vills here to start against Militia.
What is a good thing here for MBL is that he's taking this drush on first hand. He's going to lose a Vil, but to me it looks like Loiza might have been thinking about doing some men-at-arms himself. You can see villagers headed over to gold, but there's 4 of them, so I guess that's totally wrong. We'll probably see archers, right?
Maybe, I mean, his economy is looking right. That mining can come up a little bit late though.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to FC straight away. So yeah, you could be seeing archers from here. Archers wouldn't be too bad. Considering the fact that he knows that MBL's moving for mana arms, now you see the militias coming out, and the fact that he's in feudal age early, which basically points towards mana arms. The archers would be very good in this situation.
Just want to say a shout out to Glocken who just showed up. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us.
Glocken.
Yeah, the chat is about to get 18 plus, says Smarthy. Yeah, so for the most part... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just about to say, looking at bot wipe and wonder. I'm just wondering what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, so the Viper has walled in quite a lot. It seems like... Ooh, MBL is here. Welcome. Don't spoil it. You probably know who won this game. Yeah, so Viper's going to have some walls up across the front before that drush comes in from 8th Wonder. 8th is Aztecs, but I see some HP loss off of that drush, so it must have been... He and Viper must have engaged at some point. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But, oh, yeah, you can see the dead bodies. Absolutely.
So that was a wipeout there, though, for Wonder. That's a really good job. Wow. That's pretty bad for Viper.
It is, but in general, those militia are relatively low. We are seeing men-at-arms from Loiza after all, but I think Viper should be okay here. It seems like he can target down some of these lower HP, and his Eagle Warrior is still in play. Oh, it's a little bit chaotic there in the front, but I think this engagement's going to be okay for the Viper in the end. Did lose his Eagle Warrior there. I do not see any of these Vils on terribly low health. So those... Oh, yeah, 1 Vil on the front. Oh, he's going to lose him. So, yeah, I guess it's a good enough drush. It's a decent drush there, but...
That's a great drush.
Yeah.
That's a great drush. He took out Viper's scout, he took out a villager, wiped out his own drush, like, both their drushes. So in the end, he's definitely come out on top. And he's still got his scouts alive, which is huge. He can now start scouting out his opponent's base board. What's his numbers in terms of how many archer ranges, how many archers, where they are, how many gold, so on and so forth. Just like all the little numbers.
So Loiza
So on and so
going men-at-arms. You can see that there's 4 of those forward, 3 of those forward, and also going double archery range as well. Behind it, he has transitioned some villagers off of gold. It looks like he lost a few units there right on that gold. Not sure if that happened. But yeah, we have a little bit of action here in the early game. That's nice. I get bored and sometimes when we watch players boom up. We're watching a battle here.
Yeah, we are certainly watching a battlefield. So Loja responds with going banner arms himself and making a few more, which is which was correct to, because of course you had to wait a bit of time for the archer ranges to come up and get the archers down. He knew he was under a bit of pressure, so he had to get them out. But MBL's still making more himself, so it's kind of a bit crazy. I think he should stop making man at arms. It's now archer ranges are up here to Loja, so he's completely fine now. So I don't know who actually in a toss up. I don't know who won that. I guess from villager count that MBL's ahead, so yes for him. But I still think Loja's fine because he's got the archer ranges out pumping, and I don't see any. Okay, I do see that from MBL, but yeah. Got anything out until so.
Yeah, so MBL is going to have that little pocket we talked about closed in before Loiza gets any chance to get back. So I guess in the end, winning that man-at-arms, yeah, like you said, it's a toss-up as to who really won that engagement. But in the end, MBL is going to be in really good shape. Loiza is going to be in just fine shape. The Viper and 8th Wonder battled it out on the other side. Excuse me, you like that drush. I think it's a good drush too. I just thought it was I thought it was maybe a little bit. It committed pretty quickly to doing that damage. But anyway, I'm a noob. I'm not gonna try to tell you what a good drush is. But here comes the walling from Eighth Wonder, finally gonna close in his entire side. Viper's gonna leave that left flank open. His flank with MBL will be open. He's actually closing the distance between them. There is a huge patch between them, but in general, a team wall could be in order at some point. Maybe that can be achieved between the Viper and MBL. And somebody just asked if these are live. I'm sure somebody else told you, but we're watching some replays from yesterday. Just hanging out because we, felt like casting some games. Yeah, I'm seeing an engagement there with Loiza. He's cleaning up those men-at-arms from MBL. MBL is just fine back at home. We see crossbows coming for Viper and Eighth Wonder. Boncanero as well for Eighth. And, yeah. So at the moment, those two players squaring off in Castle Age. The other two players, Loiza and MBL, are squaring off in Feudal Age. And we will see them clicking up relatively soon, I would imagine. Loiza having a decent amount of food and gold. And MBL not having a whole lot. So those two players are going to continue to boom up a little. Meanwhile, we can watch the Viper and Eighth Wonder go at it on the other side. Viper seems to have a few more crossbows in play there, but those crossbows are going to pass like ships in the night. Viper will be coming up against walls. Maybe he can attack one of those palisades. Meanwhile, Eighth will be working his way across, and he's going to have a juicy little wood line here that he can maybe pick a vill or two from Viper.
Oh, but it's a gap. Oh, there's a hole. Oh, okay, right. He's in a world of hurt. He can even deny
that
the
TC
too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad. What is?
Oh man, and he's
Wonder?
gonna.
Okay, he's going full tilt.
Yep. And I mean, maybe that's the right play here, but unfortunately, the cat's out of the bag. That those damn holes. There's always a hole. Oh man, it's amazing how effective 8 archers or 7 archers can be sometimes. He's going to get through the hole. Meanwhile, Eighth Wonder's archers are in. They're going to grab a villager or 2 from the Viper. It looks like 1 vill.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, new person. I hope you enjoyed the creepy voice. Viper's still in the back of Eighth Wonder's area. He's going to grab another vill. And if we look at the populations, we can see Eighth is on 30, Viper is on 36. That TC came up late, so Eighth's population is going to be a little bit slower in building than he wanted. Meanwhile, Viper on 1 TC still. MBL at the moment is in the Feudal Age, has not clicked up as far as I can see. Loiza has clicked up, and he is about 1/3 of the way up. He's also knocking on the door of those palisades. Do you see that on MBL's side?
So I've been looking at Viper's micro. Yeah, I see him knocking the palisades now. It's fine. I don't see a big issue coming up at MBL. Doing a couple of house walls, garrison tower. I know I have to run away. I think Voyage knows that too. But just 2 more vills, 3 more vills could go down in a second. These crossbows, by the way, 7 came in, now 2 remaining. I mean, he's killed 8 villagers, and he's just
Yeah.
Oh god, this is just so bad for Wonder. I feel
It's bad for Wonder, but I think it's. I don't know. I'm an optimist. I think that's just getting a really amazing amount of bang for your buck if you are the Viper.
Oh, yeah.
There. That's awesome. I mean, man, I send in 7 archers and they end up all getting killed by the TC, and I get like 1 vill. He just did a fantastic job there with those. You can see that on MBL's side, he has a couple of archery ranges garrisoned there with some skirmisher archer mixes. He's going to pop those out a little later. They're still outnumbered by Loiza, who's on the hill. Loiza has given up on that palisade, as you said. He probably should, because he knows the towers here from MBL. He can knock down that palisade, but it's not going to get him any closer. Meanwhile, Loiza hits Castle Age. MBL clicks up, and there is a bunch of stuff in the chat that I can't read, but we'll interpret it to say that, hey man, let's kick their butts. Yeah, do you know any of these?
no, I don't know Norwegian. I think he's saying that basically Wonder's just kind of been, kicked in the ass. Because MBL's like, okay, I'm a little bit in trouble because guys in Castle I'm only halfway up, but I think Viper's just reassuring MBL that things are going all right on his end.
Yeah, I would guess that's the correct interpretation. Yeah, I mean, MBL is, he's being annoyed here, but he hasn't really lost anything in the area of villagers. I said I had to go, says MBL. Oh, yeah, we were way off. So MBL in the chat saying that the translation of that is "I have to go."
Oh, right. Okay, right.
It's so hard
Classic.
it's hard to stream and speculate because you think you say something like, "Oh, that's a really good hypothesis." Like I think what he's planning is this, and then the player comes in the chat and says like, "No, you're an idiot."
Just ruins all my theory crafting. I only thought it said like Dow, and then like I Wanderers. I was like, okay, I think he's saying Wanderers dead. So like, I don't know.
So at the moment, you can see Viper and 8th Wonder both on 2 TCs. Viper's going to have extra vills. He's going to be up 10 vills. Loiza and MBL are fighting it out. They're going to be on similar villager counts when MBL hits the Castle Age. Loiza will have an earlier second TC, and there is chaos in MBL's side. But like you said, or maybe you didn't say this explicitly, but that chaos is not enough chaos to equalize the huge amount of difference in the game on the other side of the map. I mean, the Viper here is just seems to be really torching a lot of vills. Unfortunately, 8th Wonder is going to have to try to defend with a Mangonel. Let's see if he gets that shot on the left flank. Do you see that Mangonel creeping up?
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Good time.
Yeah. Nice shot there, getting 3 dead and getting low HP on many others. Meanwhile, we can see the aggression from Loiza on the front of MBL's area is really cleaned up. MBL has tons of skirms, and he has elite skirm coming. So that is not going to be a big difference maker at this point. MBL has held his side just fine. Very nice play from him. I'm not just saying that because he's here. Tons of stone being taken from Loiza on the side, so maybe some husks at some point. Meanwhile, Town Center going down for MBL right on his stone, and that will be a nice little location. And we have a market as well if he needs to balance anything out. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. Right. So I was part of talk about this a little bit here. This is what's more important at this point. So now you've got Goths in this game. Now Goths are just great fun to play with, but the interesting thing about Goths is that there's a lot of variety strategy you try and pull off. And what they're going to do, I think, is that Wander's going to try and start slinging Loisia to go and drop a castle, start getting like 5 or 6 racks out, and just start the spam of Huskars. Because the Aztecs, got great economy, and he's on 3 TCs. If you can start, he's got the coinage already done. So I'm expecting a sling from Wander to Loisia to start just getting that spam out.
Yeah, good catch with the coinage. Absolutely good point. We do see Loiza. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy the creepy voice. We do see Loiza working his way around the Viper's palisades. The Viper at the moment doesn't have a whole lot back at home to defend. He doesn't have a lot of villagers that are hanging out in a juicy spot, but there is a little army there from Loiza, and I think that is a relatively effective place for Loiza to be pushing because MBL's elite skirms are just too much for that little mixture he has. Meanwhile, you can see MBL with tons of elite skirms. He's actually going to start picking off some farmers. He's going to be up against double mangonels in defense from Loiza. Loiza is going to drop a castle on the front of his area, and we're going to see that Huskarl spam that we may see that Huskarl spam that you hypothesized may be coming. I should go on to Loiza's point of view so we can see any sling that happens as it happens. Viper clicking up to Imperial. We do see MBL dropping a castle on the front as well, so, no big surprise there. We know what unit we're going to see at some point here, but those mangonels are doing a good job to push out the skirms. Crossbows in tow, doing a nice job as well. So for the moment, Loiza is going to be okay, and everybody is, I guess it's a little bit of a stalemate at the moment. Yep, and there comes the tribute from 8th Wonder.
Yeah, he's already heavily to quite a lot of resources. Now, I'm curious what Lloyd's just going to be doing here. He either goes for going up to the castle edge, or he will just slap down 5 or 6 racks. Okay, he's going to slap down racks, but I'm still waiting to see what he's going to try and do. Yeah, okay, he's going to go for the castle edge spam here. He's going to get the anarchy down. So, yeah, we should be seeing just a flood of Huskars coming out.
Yeah, so Anarchy and the armor upgrade as well, so we're going to see some beefy little husks coming out very soon. Look at the villagers on gold there for 8th Wonder, and he is in full sling mode, as you called. You called it, man. Pat yourself on the back. Imperial Age coming for the Viper. He'll be up to Imp first. I wonder what he's going to be going into. I mean,
Eagles.
Is it really a huge mystery?
Aztec, so you just go Eagles.
Yeah.
It's Aztec, you go Eagles every day. It's classic. Again, you only need about 70 to about 80 Evil's area if you've got good eco management to just spam the warriors out. And of course, this is Viper, so I expect nothing less than good eco.
Yeah, and we do see
Yeah.
one Huskarl so far from MBL Garrison at the moment. Probably going to be building quite a few more as this goes on. And yeah, the sling is in full effect. And I think from a strategic standpoint, I really am talking out of school because I'm not nearly as experienced as these players or you are. But from a tactical standpoint, I think going into the sling is really your last chance of coming back in this game. Like, you're playing against two really good seasoned pros. You got a bunch of villagers picked if you're 8th Wonder. You know you're behind. It's sort of the last ditch effort that you can do, right? And we're not
They
even
already called it GG, but they
Yeah.
saw Viper Imperial and they just realized that it's just too late. I mean, once you get Elite Eagles, you're either going to start hitting your slinged opponent, or you're going to start hitting Loisir or something like that, or even defend them. It's much better for Aztec because, of course, you can get the Elite Eagle upgrade in, and once you got them fairly upgraded, they can just match up to the Huskarls very easily because, of course, Loisir isn't up. And even then as well, MBL is getting Anarchy and Scale Mail Armor, so he himself could match up. So it's just a 2v1, and not even a Goth full sling Castle Age would be able to deal with it. So you're absolutely right, the pickoffs were just too much.
Yeah, I think it's a appropriate GG. Like, you know, they could have played this game out more, but you know, these guys have a good feeling for when it's over. But I do really like, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter what I like, but I do really like the idea of going for the sling there. You have to try something different. Obviously, the straight up strategy wasn't going to win that game after those archers from the Viper got in. So yeah, nice team game.
I think you're right.
I'd love to see that. I call it the Hail Mary play. That wasn't really a Hail Mary. It was just a big change of strategy. But, you know, if you're losing and you're behind and you don't think you can claw back via conventional methods, do something a little bit different, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. In this situation, it can work. I've seen it work or whatever like that. The thing is, it's just that should have come them maybe about a minute or two earlier. If that came to about maybe 2 minutes earlier or so on, then that could have been a lot more effective because MBL wouldn't have had the Anarchy done by that point. Viper would only be about maybe not even halfway up to the Imperial Age at that point. So once you got the Goths just started spamming out, it'll put a lot of pressure on MBL. And even if Viper gets to Imperial, if you've done a lot of damage into MBL or whatever, or anyway, if you've got a lot of map presence, it can be a little bit harder for your team. So timing thing, I think, was a little bit out, that's all, because they had to change strategy.
Yeah, in the end, I don't know if I can think of a way that... I can't even think of a hypothesis of how that game could have been brought back, but I like the effort of, you know, going into the sling, trying something different, seeing if you can get a bunch of Huskarls on the field, taking a few risks. In the end, it's not going to pay off. They got swamped out. Unfortunately, that hole in the wall really decided that game early. You know, I think it certainly would have been a longer game. If Viper and MBL won it, it would have been a much longer, harder fought game. But that one hole in the Palisade wall is, it's always there. It decides so many games. Just want to quickly say thanks to, we got a couple of new followers here. Marak, Holy Roman Viking, and Padalanos HS. Thanks, guys, for following. Sorry for butchering all of your names. So yeah, I've been choosing all the games here. I think it's your turn to choose one, man. You can take a minute and think about it, but I don't want to put you on the spot. But
no idea. I mean, honestly, you do whatever you want to do. I'm really happy just to sit in here. So,
well, me too. And I've chosen. I've been throwing random stuff at you. So you know, it's I don't know. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break, put on some weird music, and grab a glass of water. But if you see anything that jumps out at you, we can go and check that out. If you don't, I'll just pick something random. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's put on some weird music. Oh, let's turn it down. Sorry for blowing everybody's eardrums out. All right, I'll be back in a sec. All right, I'm back. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome, man. Yeah, just wanted to say quickly, you reloaded on some coffee here, and I was thinking about it. Just want to say thanks, man. I appreciate you and SMB and T90, and I could really name a whole bunch of people, but when I first started doing this, I was like, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I bet there's a lot of competition. Like, people probably try to, like, streamers probably try to make other streamers, like, look less good or take their viewers away, but you guys have been so cool. This has been awesome.
Well, sorry, I was listening on my phone. What were you saying?
I was just complimenting you, saying thanks so much for, like, being so good, like, welcoming me into the community. I really appreciate it.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, it's like, as much as sometimes I have grievances with people in like community, in comparison to like a lot of other communities I've seen, like it's actually quite all right. And yeah, no, it's an absolute pleasure, to be honest. So, no, we don't. I don't know. It's just not my ethics just to like start like pissing on people's streams and like in public and like viewers, whatever. That's just like a bad taste in my mouth, and that's just not salt. That's just like, I don't know, like cobwebs.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I said cobwebs is because I was opening up like my door outside for my cat or whatever because it wants to go outside. It's got a cat flap, anyways, in the conservatory, and then like I was walking out and like there's a cobweb that went to my face, so I was like,
yeah, I don't know. I made some assumptions that were wrong. Like, I just figured, I'm just a guy who likes this game. I'm not even good at this game. Like, I just want to go on and do this. It'll be cool to, maybe get a few words out there and have some fun with it. And, maybe some of my friends will come in and this will be cool. But it's like, man, just night in and night out, the people in this community have really surprised me. Like, people will just jump in and co-cast with you and just have a good time. Like, it's not about, hey, I need to build my channel or I need to do this. It's just about like, let's all hang out and enjoy the game that we all love. That's really cool. So much appreciated. Big shout out to all those cool people, including you out there.
it's a pleasure. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like there are always some people who are gonna be like that, or like I'm not pointing out to anyone in particular or anything like that, but there are of course somewhere down the line anyway. People will try and use for advantage or take things for advantage or whatever anyway, and then like that's fine for them and so on, and like they can do what they want, and so I'm not gonna go down that road. It's just it's just a question of like a moral code, I would say, but I'm not gonna say I'm like an angel, like but I'm just saying that just like when it comes to these things.
I just assumed, like, I kind of came in this thinking, like, I'm playing with house money. Like, it doesn't really matter to me if people are dicks to me because I don't really care. Like, I'm going to go on and do this thing and enjoy a game that I really like watching. I've been watching Rex forever, and I just kind of figured, like, I really enjoy watching Rex, and I don't have the equipment to stream, and there's a lot of good streamers out there. And then I decided one day, like, let's give this a shot. Let's try this. And it's just been really fun. And man, I just can't believe how cool everyone is. Like, I just kind of assumed, I'm going to be treated like not the nicest and whatever, but I was totally wrong. So it was great.
Yeah.
looks like you're getting heckled. I give you a compliment. The chat seems to be heckling you.
It's people I know from like Beneficial or whatever. Like it's just I like to do a lot of banter, and I give out shit, and yeah, I take a lot of shit at the same time. So yeah, this is a classic example.
You might as well make it interesting, right? Like we're not political figures. We might as well have some fun with this, right?
Absolutely.
So did you find
that's pretty good.
Did you find a rec or a game that's live that particularly piqued your interest?
No, absolutely. No, I think you should keep pulling out these games because I'm pretty happy with what you're doing.
Well, I think I think the Viper, MBL, Eighth Wonder, and Loiza 2v2 was a set of 3 or 4. So I downloaded the next in that set. Are you interested? Should we do it?
Yeah, do it.
Awesome, man. Let's do it. Let me just quickly look and make sure that I've thanked everybody who's been following. Yep, I have. Thank you guys so much for that. Makes me feel appreciated very much. Ooh, excuse me. coughing right into the mic. Yeah, seems like we're all caught up with the chat. So let's take the overlay off this time, I suppose, and let's launch this thing. Yeah, so I believe this is game 2. Sometimes I approach these things backwards and I make game 3, game 2, you know what I mean? Like game 4 becomes game 1, but it doesn't really matter, right? We know that this is a set of 4. This is the second game you're seeing, so we'll call it game 2. We're going to see Aztecs in Spanish this time. So Aztecs again for the Viper and Aztecs again for Eighth Wonder. So that's interesting. 2 games in a row, those players will be Aztecs. The overlay is off, so let me quickly go through the maps. Smarthy, to your question, we did have a donate button for like 10 seconds, but we had to get rid of it because it wasn't working. We'll deal with that another day. So anyway, let's see. Viper is in red, has berries on the back and gold on the back. Looks relatively open to me. Gonna have a nice little deer patch there in the front. Oh, this is the game where Viper micros like Smarthy, says SMB. If we look quickly at blue, Eighth Wonder, it is going to be Eighth and Loiza on a team again. We'll call that team 1. Eighth Wonder is going to have berries on the back, stone on the back. His main gold is out to the front, and that is in a little bit of an ugly position. He can definitely defend it somewhat, but that is not great. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Loiza in green. Loiza is going to be as Spanish. He's going to have gold to the side closest to Eighth Wonder and berries to the side closest to Eighth Wonder. So those are going to be hard to defend. No hill there, but no structure to work with either. And finally, MBL in teal once again, playing as Spanish, will have gold on the back. It is sort of on the side of the Viper, which is good for him since they are teammates. He will have his stone off to the side. And generally, I like MBL's map maybe the best out of the group, but nobody has a stellar map. Nobody has a terrible map, in my opinion. Is anything jumping out at you so far?
Nothing particular. I mean, Viper's got a pretty terrible map. I mean, gold's just awful. Oh, ball lane coming. What? Ball lane coming up from what? From Wonder here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, little boar stealing action. Very nice. Interestingly, he was maybe in position to do a double, but I'm not so schooled on such things. There is some uphill there as well. But he is going to steal the 1 boar from Viper. Viper's Eagle Warrior is in on Eighth Wonder's side, but he's not going to find his boar. He may steal these sheep from him. You see the Eagle Warrior headed toward those sheep. I'm going to assume that Eighth is going to lure that boar in perfectly because most of these pro players do. No boar laming on the other side between Loiza and MBL. Those guys seem to have their scouts relatively close to their own TC. And it looks like... nope, Viper's not going to find those sheep, at least not right away. So it's going to be advantage to Eighth Wonder here. Absolutely. Good call on the boar lure. I think I would have missed it.
Oh, I thought you in the vicinity. Well, when it comes to it makes it a lot easier for when you're ball laming, of course, with Aztecs and mains, because you can drop your scout into TC, so you don't have to micro it around or whatever. Just drop it into TC and then let the villagers take care of it afterwards. So Viper's probably going to try and find a boar of his own to try and steal. It's very difficult at this point because Wanda can defend it quite easily. These 2 boars, so it would be very difficult. I don't think you'll be able to achieve it. So. It'll be interesting what he's going to respond with. He might try and push some of his own deer in if he can find them. Yeah, they're fairly close. That's actually a nice saving grace there for Viper. He can push those deer in very easily. Or he just take them by himself. So
Eighth is going to be in. Eighth Wonder is going to be in fantastic shape. Not only did he steal that boar, and he's going to have his own 2 boars, but he has that deer patch as well. He's pushed a deer across already.
Yeah.
Man, his food is going to be out of this world. He does have 4 villagers on wood, so we may see that standard 5 militia drush from him. Meanwhile, that boar is looking aggro, but he's going to manage it just fine and keep it going. Let's see. Yeah, seems like a pretty normal Dark Age outside of the boar steal. But yeah, it is looking like Eighth Wonder has a great map. Go ahead, what's up?
Look at Lloyd's base. This is okay. Oh god, what are you doing? Okay, I have no idea. Okay, did you see the farm placement? Why is he dropping farm placements?
I don't know, but he is. He seems to be having some sort of bug. It just keeps farming over and over.
It was really weird. So he dropped 1 farm by the main goal. Then he dropped a second one and built half of it and deleted it. Then dropped 2 more. I think it was a mistake, but I don't know. Either it's a mistake or this was something like a greater plan because I have no idea. This is by far a top 5 what the fuck faces I'm pulling.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was about.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be swearing that much.
Oh, that's okay. We're a 18 plus channel, but yeah, I mean, whatever. But yeah, that was really weird, very strange.
Must have been a mistake. I don't know.
I wonder what that was about. Maybe he switched some hotkeys or something, and I'm not sure.
Could be.
We'll see if it
Some
ends
things
up.
in the universe cannot be explained.
Yeah, exactly. Chaos theory.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're going to see Eighth Wonder doing some good scouting on the Viper. In general, if we look at scouting, Viper knows a little bit about Eighth Wonder. MBL doesn't know much about the other players at the moment. Loiza's done some scouting on MBL. And Eighth Wonder's done some scouting on Viper. So we're going to see Aztecs v Aztecs and Spanish v Spanish probably early in this game. Looks like those players are at least scouting out each other at the moment. MBL is going to grab his last two sheep a little bit later, a lot later than he probably wanted, but he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, what's going on? It seems like people are starting to click up. Loiza is up on 20 vils. As Spanish, that's an interesting number. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we see some blue inside of the Viper's area. That's just a scout for the moment. We do see Militia queued up for Eighth Wonder, so he will be doing that nice little drush. Viper will have a drush as well ready, and we may see those two drushes neutralize each other somewhere in the middle of that battlefield.
I'll be interested to see how it's going to pan out. Viper's going to play a little bit cautious. I think now he knows where the scout is from Wonder, he's going to start pushing out because he knows that be a bit more aggressive in the situation. Normally you have your scout generally tied up, but it's just sometimes. It's one of those weird things. He knows that you won't be too far away. See already, like, the militias are very close to each other.
Yeah, at the moment, Viper's...
See what I mean?
Yes, I do. But at the moment, the Viper's going to take that engagement in the middle. He's going to be a little on the downhill side, and his Eagle Warrior is out of the play. So we'll see how good his micro is, but you would think Eighth Wonder is going to win this pretty handily, right?
He won that 5-on-5 with the Eagle Scout and didn't lose a single one.
Yeah, that is really tough. That's really tough.
Oh, that's so bad. I mean, look at the HQ of them as well. I mean, only one I would say is critically injured.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is honestly the worst possible scenario you could think of. Because now there's 5 villagers coming on in. His gold he cannot take. His wood line's not walled in. Could lose a villager here. He's lost a villager too.
Yep, he has. Thank you, Will War for Ice Cream, for hosting us. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, we're watching, in case you guys are coming over from that channel, watching a 2v2. It is Viper and MBL versus Eighth Wonder and Loiza. The first game was won by the Viper and MBL. Viper is saying GG in the chat. I wonder.
He's realized how screwed the game is now becoming. I'm amazed that Wonder hasn't decided to go to that wood line and start harassing him. He's going to try and take the mining camp down. That's really not a big issue.
You see Viper sneaking 5 villagers away to that secondary gold. They're going to be out at the clandestine mining camp, as I usually call it, because his forward gold is gone. But yeah, great engagement by Eighth Wonder. Viper in some trouble. I think he might have stepped away from the keyboard and let me play for a moment there. We see, yeah, let's see, what else?
Lloyd's going scouts, and so is MBL. Okay. That's weird. A little bit. The reason why I'm saying a little bit weird is because we went 23 pop up, and normally that would say it's probably more of an archerish build, but something a little bit different, but that's fine. 23 is fine, it seems. Oh, look at that. Lloyd's just starting to hit Viper's berries too.
Yeah, absolutely great 2-on-1 there. Smelling the blood in the water, I suppose, is Loiza. And it seems like he and Eighth Wonder will both be working on the Viper from opposite sides. That's going to be incredibly effective. That is going to pull MBL's scouts all the way over here in defense. And it's always better to be offensive than defensive, I suppose. Yeah, I just say a bunch of random, obvious things in this channel sometimes. But Eighth Wonder's going to...
That's the best.
Eighth Wonder's going to find that he can't actually get at Viper very easily. That drush at the moment running all the way to the back. It's not going to find a way through. He's going to have to run and sort of strafe all the way around the horn if he's going to get to Viper's berries or woodline. So like you said, if he had known about that woodline being open, he probably wouldn't have focused on the mining camp, but he does still have a massive advantage.
Oh, absolutely huge advantage. I mean, he can even go man at arms if he wants to try and apply some more pressure, but he wants to click up first, of course, which is will do because again, just how this game's playing out, generally it's just going so well for Wonder, that extra 4 and Khalil, there's a lot of harassment been done on Viper. It's just all gone just to hell. And what this is the difference from the last game as well, which is really interesting. Normally, of course, in 2v2s, you do see teamwork going on. Last game, we just saw just 2 split 1v1s practically. This time, we're now seeing that Lloyd's just getting stuck in at Viper. So it's good to see. We're finally seeing some sort of coordination from both teams.
Yeah, and both players on T1, Viper and MBL, are really reacting strongly to this as they should. They're going to clean up that drush at the moment. Viper's mining camp out there just worries me. Look at how many juicy villagers there are there that are just a mile away from protection. We'll see if they come under duress quite soon. It looks like the Viper has won back the front area. Maybe he'll put some walls up and start taking his main gold as well. Keep an eye on the Viper. Double archery range for him. At the moment, we see 8th is clicked up to Castle Age, grabbing fletching, having a couple of archery ranges. I can only assume that there are archers queued up in there. MBL on the other side is in Feudal Age at the moment. 31 vills for MBL. Has some scouts on the field, hanging out a little bit defensively here. Loiza's roaming around the back of his area, but he's not going to do much. There's a spear in play by that gold that's going to do just fine. Meanwhile, Viper and MBL are at least alive. They've survived. Basically, I'm trying to say if I was in that position, it would be GG. They're at least going to have a chance to try to claw back in this one, but they may be the ones in this game who need to take a little bit of a risk and do something a little different. Loiza's grabbing quite a bit of stone. Not terribly surprising as a Spanish player. Of course, we can see conquistadors. Those scouts for MBL are quite numerous. They are not bloodlined and upgraded, but they will be working their way across the map. Of course, they're not bloodlined, but they will come across the map, and we will see them head in toward Loiza, toward his gold, potentially. Loiza with 5 villagers there on gold, and yeah, it just seems like, for the moment, the Team 1, Loiza and Viper, have stabilized what was a sinking ship for a moment. They've done an okay job keeping this one going.
Yeah, I'm surprised that no bloodline's been done on these scouts, but now he's inside. Lord just basically do a fair amount of damage. Yeah, Lord's just going to go for Conquistadors, clearly. I'm really interested in what Wanda's going to be planning, and what I mean by that is he could go for the forward siege workshop and apply serious pressure, or we can try and eco it up a little bit, maybe get a second of TC down. I'm very curious what he's going to be planning on doing. For now, though, he's going to go, of course, with the fletching. He can't afford the bucket at this point because when you're going up this early, this is a 17-17 5-man Drush FC, which is extremely fast. I mean, thanks to the extra pro, of course. So, but it doesn't mean he can, of course, go straight bodkin. I think he's going to try and throw it out, but he hasn't got enough army. He's going to get taken down by Viper here. That's really nice for Viper.
Yeah, Viper with a nice little... I don't know what you'd call that. He pushed him up against the wall there, and 8th had nowhere to go. Meanwhile, those scouts from MBL are effective at annoying that gold, but for the moment, they're not getting into those vills, and here comes spears in defense from Loiza. So I think MBL is going to have to push away from that. I'm not sure where he'll go next. We'll keep an eye on those scouts. They seem to be disinterested in Loiza's gold now. Maybe they're going to... man, I just don't see them getting in. Those spears in defense are going to be awfully beefy against them. Here comes a castle, and we will see conquistadors from Loiza. Meanwhile, like you said, 8th Wonder being a little bit... I don't know, maybe he's just being a little bit coy, in my opinion. Like, I can't really tell what his plan is, but we'll keep an eye on him. He's going crossbows for now. If we look at his resources, he doesn't have much. He's obviously investing in Castle Age aggression, but I'm just not sure what his plan is. Meanwhile, Loiza with a knight in defense, and he will have a few conquistadors very soon, one would predict. Meanwhile, back on the other side, the Viper has stabilized things. Villager counts are 35-35 for Viper and MBL. Eighth Wonder having 41, which is really awesome, having 2 TCs, really being the MVP of this game thus far. But we do see MBL with a Monastery Siege Workshop going up, so maybe some more aggression from him. Maybe that's just defensive against some knights.
It's more defensive against the conquistadors, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Monks do a very good job against conquistadors to a degree, of course. You know, they do at 6 range, but they are a bit slow. Monks are a good defense basically against conquistadors. I'm not surprised about that one. And part of the reason as well, because of the fact that he hasn't got not many on stone in the first place, and wasn't even that early on. It's been quite late in comparison to Lloyd, so we'll be able to get any cast up in the meantime. So we'll be making knights and maybe some monks too. Expected.
So at the moment, yeah, actually, absolutely, very good point. At the moment, Viper trying to get into Eighth Wonder's grill. Yeah, we're getting gangster here, but the Mangonel there in defense for Eighth Wonder is going to push that entire army away, and for now, I think the Viper's going to retreat off of that. Those crossbows are +2, but no defensive upgrades, so are Eighth Wonders. They're actually going to come in and try to snipe this Mangonel, so we'll see if this engagement goes okay for Eighth. Viper splitting those up a lot. He is going to take a shot and lose 2 of them. But if he gets this Mangonel relatively soon, he's going to be just fine. And there's the scouts from MBL. So we are, or no, light cavalry now from MBL. So we are seeing some teamwork here. Both players are coming against Eighth Wonder to make sure that Eighth Wonder doesn't just blow everybody out of this game. And I think that's a nice play.
Yeah, they know they've got to put pressure on Wonder, and they know also the fact that Lloyd's just going to go for Conquistadors. So when our cast coming up, it takes a little bit of time to get a decent mass Conquistadors like we could be seeing now. So nice play from MBL to just put a little bit of pressure, because Wonder is, you know, on 49 villagers, the most in the game. So he's ecoing up really well. Of course, with Aztecs, doesn't require an awful amount of villagers to get to Imperial and start getting those Eagles going. So.
Yeah, look at the Viper here, swooping those crossbows under the wood line of Eighth Wonder. I wonder if he can camp those out and get a few of those villagers for free, but we will see. Is he gonna? Yeah, he's gonna start sniping villagers on that wood line. He'll certainly grab a few and idle quite a few more. Nice little play from Eighth Wonder, dropping a quick house to block Viper from really swooping all the way around the backside. That would be a major problem. MBL's light cavalry are in. Unfortunately, they're going to find basically a trap that Eighth Wonder has set up. Actually, a really nice TC location and walling location there. He's trapped those light cavalry in, and they're going to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a lot of those are going to go down. That's a really nice. I don't know if that's just serendipitous, but that pocket that Eighth Wonder made is very inviting for another player to come in and try to harass that gold. And then they see this TC and they're like, oh god, I'm trapped in an area with a TC and a bunch of crossbows. Nice little Mangonel shot there from Eighth Wonder. So in general, I think Eighth is doing a great job to hold his side. He is going to lose that Mango, but he did get 4 archers there. He does have his own crossbows in defense. So I think in general, that whole engagement worked out very well for Loiza and Eighth Wonder. Loiza with Conquistadors working their way across the map, and we do see Monks and Siege coming forward for MBL.
Hey, here we are. Mangonels, 3 monks. I'm not sure it's enough to start, you know, really cranking the pressure up. I think you would need a couple more monks out. See, I'm a bit skeptical how it's going to play out.
Yeah, this game.
Okay, yeah, Lloyd just kills 2 of them. Okay.
This game is really intense. There's a whole lot going on. Eighth Wonder's defending his side. There's a lot of flirtation going on. Couple of deleted, looks like deleted Conquistadors there on the front for Loiza. Yep, deleting another. MBL coming in with some pressure, so that Monk and Siege pressure is going to do a decent job there on the front at annoying. Meanwhile, Viper has TC'd that clandestine gold mining camp, so it is no longer clandestine. Conquistadors for Loiza are in MBL's area, and they are going to start doing some harassment on MBL. So MBL and Loiza's armies are in each other's bases, but neither player has a ton to defend with. Obviously, those conks are going to pick a lot more villagers off, or potentially could, good than just 2 mangonels, but we'll see what happens. Those players both playing very nicely against each other. MBL has a couple of knights that are going to be in 8th Wonder's grill once again. I don't know why we're all about the grill in 8th Wonder's grill, but there it is. And for the moment, the Viper is a little bit stagnant with his army. He has a small group of crossbows. I wonder what he's up to. At the moment, he has quite a bit of gold piled up. Housed on 74. Villagers are in favor of Loiza and 8th Wonder. They have maybe 15 more vills than the other team. Meanwhile, Siege Workshop coming up in defense for Loiza. And yeah, we're seeing those conquistadors doing some good raiding, doing some good annoyance. MBL's push on the front, though, is still alive. It's still perfectly in shape.
They're still in, but all the light caps coming out right now from Loiza, which can take care of those monks very easily. Just go straight in. They don't even care about losing them. It's just more about killing the monks off, really.
Yeah, and
Wait, did he?
Go ahead.
All right, okay. You convert one light cap. That's interesting. Those 2 monks though. That's quite nice. Now you can go and deal with the siege quite easily. Put 3 conquistadors there. Bit of micro. You've got a couple of light caps still there around too, so it's fine. He's completely fine.
Yeah, in the end, MBL really timing that perfectly, bringing those knights in just in time to basically keep that siege from going down for free. Eventually, one of those mangonels goes down. I think the monks have also died. Those old men holding Bibles have no longer made it. Let me slow this back down and make sure I did a dumb thing and adjusted the speed. So now we might be a little bit out of sync, but we'll get there. We'll make it work. Meanwhile, Loiza's stone on the back is starting to run very, very low. I'm not sure where he's going to go next if he wants to continue taking stone. I think he's really out of luck in his own side. But on the other side, we see Viper clicking to Imperial Age. That makes sense. He's been a little bit quiet lately. He hasn't built a ton of army. He's Imperial. He's putting up barracks. We know what that means. He will also have a Siege Workshop in defense in case 8th Wonder's crossbows, which is a pretty beefy pack of crossbows. 8th Wonder playing very defensively with that huge group of crossbows, but he's going to get to Imperial, and he's going to keep them alive for the moment. He and Viper will be there at the same time, which is very surprising. In the end, I thought Viper was going to be in a lot of trouble economically. He did have to sacrifice some military production and lean on MBL to keep the pressure on. But in general, you know, that team has a chance to win, which is pretty interesting, kind of surprising.
Yeah, kind of surprising. Now this is a little interesting knowledge. Right, so it's from Ra when I watched him like before. When it comes to an Aztec Wars, let's just take out Viper and Wanda into an Aztec War. Now, see, look at the crossbows. Wanda's only got no armor, and Viper's got +2 armor. Now, generally, consensus is that you don't generally want to try and get especially +2 armor really, unless it's getting a very heavy Aztec War in terms of Castle Age. Because of the fact that you want to save the food, so you can try and go up earlier. Now, Viper is up earlier, but he is probably also a few vills less. But just interesting to note that when it comes to Aztec Wars, why the armor upgrade isn't so important, like in other crossbow-related wars, because you want to get up faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a little bit of extra knowledge being thrown into the mix.
It's very interesting to see that Viper was able to get that upgrade and click up. Maybe he has less TCs. He has 3 TCs. I think 8th has 3 as well. So I don't know where the resources came from to bridge that gap.
I think part of it is, of course, Wanda did face quite a bit of pressure on him, in that middle stage of the Castle Age when MBL came over with the light cab, for one thing. And of course, Viper saw a lot of farms earlier on because the amount of pressure he was under and so on and so forth to get up to Castle. He was later up. He was also making farms. It's one of those weird scenarios. I don't know. I'm not really good at explaining it. I don't think I'm correct either, but it's just the nature of Aztecs.
Interestingly, we saw that Viper's crossbows were going to work their way across the Loiza, and they kind of changed direction at the last minute. It seems like MBL's doing a just fine job pushing there on the front. Viper will come in and snipe a farmer and probably annoy this gold for a little while. It looks like a market will come down for 8th Wonder. His TC is going to be just fine. Dropping an outpost on the outskirts of his little village. That's going to tell him that...
Oh.
Go ahead.
All right, we missed something big.
Double
Have you seen
mangonels.
MBL's base?
Mm-hmm. Oh, MBL's base. Or Loiza's base.
Yeah, these conquistadors have just been shredding.
Oh, yeah. We missed a lot because there was 2 mangonels that went down to conquistadors, and we, as you said, those conks are doing a lot of harassment in MBL's area, and it seems like, man, yeah, this is a nice play from Loiza. He probably could have tried to push MBL away from his own area first, but he decided to maybe sneak these conks out, and it looks like it's going to be a serious problem.
He's in a lot of trouble, I think. I mean, MBL's not out, and Loiza is. What's Loiza going into? Is he going to heavy... He's actually going to go Elite Conquistador. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I am just a moment behind you. Let me fast forward just a little bit. I think I can catch you.
I'm on 3640.
All right, I'll get there. I don't think I can surpass you based on the way that this works.
I'll slow down a little bit to 40 speed.
That's all right. I think when I get to you, it'll slow down automatically, but we'll make it work. Anyway, as you said, Imperial Age coming from Loiza, Husbandry as well, foraging for the Viper. The Viper's spam is starting to come in, and the Eagle pressure is real. Those are elite, as are the Eagle Warriors in defense. For 8th Wonder, Vipers will have the +1 damage upgrade, so they'll be a little bit stronger. But in general, this is I see more from Viper here militarily. Yeah, you can see he's at 28 versus only 11 for 8th Wonder, so he's going to be in good shape there. MBL is also in with some Knights, and he is harassing inside of Loiza's economy, inside of 8th Wonder's economy. Loiza's going to be there with some conks, and this needs to push back Viper's Eagle spam, because those Eagles are going to get in here and they're going to ruin 8th Wonder's day. They're all up in his grill. Yeah, I think that the advantage has really swung. What do you think? Is this enough to swing it?
I think it could be. It's very difficult because like MBL's really far behind this game now. He's suddenly like just gone from like hero to zero in this situation. Viper's got to try and sort of carry this. The good thing is that Lloyd has gone for the Conquistador route, which is kind of helpful here because I don't think Conquistador is the right play. If he went, I think, for the more Paladin route, then there would have been a lot more trouble. But he's gone for Elite Conks. We'll see how it works out. But it might be enough for Viper just to basically buy time for MBL to get back into the game.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
Wanda's lost a lot. Because if you think about it, he's got barely many Eagles out, and his main goal is practically to plead. He's scampering on his extra gold of his to the right, and he has to get back to the other one. So important for Aztecs to keep the gold production going. Like you can see Viper here, he's just swinging like just so easily.
Yeah, it seems like one interesting thing is Loiza's mining camp. Most of his stone right now, or maybe all of his stone, is coming way on the front. Those villagers are going to go and drop a castle to protect that. But for a moment, I was worried that those villagers were in quite a bit of trouble if anybody's army walked over there. And we're going to see a major engagement between Viper and Wonder and Loiza here. Yeah, it seems like the advantage is on the hill for those conks. Eagle Warriors, there's enough there for 8th Wonder to maybe hold the line while these conks get in a bunch of shots. I think this is a really good engagement for Team 1, for 8th Wonder and Loiza, but we'll have to see how it plays out. That TC is garrisoned, but because the fight is a little bit further out, it's not getting a ton. Well, it is getting shots in now on the Eagle Warriors, so that's going to be an advantage for them as well, and Viper's going to push away.
Yeah, I'm just now seeing him looking to engage. I'm not sure about this. I mean, he's got a tech advantage, so he will do well against Wonder. It's the fact that it's Loiza's backup here is just too strong.
I'm on.
What's your time index, by the way?
I'm
what
on
time
41:37.
Oh, okay, I'm behind now. I'll catch up in a second.
Yeah, sorry about this. I should have never paused it. I should have never changed the speed. That was a terrible mistake. But I'll live.
I'm on 45 now.
Okay, I'm on 58. I don't think you can go past me, but I'm not sure. Triple Siege Workshop coming for Loiza and Conquistadors.
I'm on 42.05.
Gotcha. Okay, we're perfect. We're in sync, as they say. But yeah, this is starting to look really good for Loiza and 8th Wonder, because Loiza's push on the front of MBL is going to be a real problem. Triple Siege Workshop and plenty of Conquistadors there that are going to be coming down on a base that is relatively unguarded. MBL's put a lot into basically trying to keep the Viper in it early in this game, and at the moment he seems like he's, like you said, he's behind getting to Imperial, and he may be this may be it. Rams coming on the front. Interesting choice there. Going to start ramming down those buildings. On the front is Loiza, and this is going to be a really effective push. I just don't see anything in defense here for MBL.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to go for Halbs, and that's a good move. I think Halbs is the correct choice in this situation. They do fairly well against Conquistadors to a degree, and they'll do with the Rams okay as well. It's fine.
Yeah, but look at this wood line in the back. There's 6 Conquistadors camped out. They're going to grab maybe 10 villagers there before the pikemen show up. They're going to take off, presumably without taking this engagement, though those pikemen are going to get some hits in. They're going to grab maybe all of these conks. So those conks are going to die, which is unfortunate, but they got their money's worth. The pack of conks on the front for Loiza is huge. We see siege rams coming in, and we see 3 of them at the moment, and we see 3 more on the way. And this is getting really, really tough. MBL is going to be GG soon unless the Viper can make a really good push on the side of 8th Wonder.
Which he is.
Yeah, it's a decent push. I don't know if it's enough.
He wiped out all of Wonder's army. I think he's doing a really good job in keeping this game together. Which it's now sort of one of those sort of parts of the game where it's more of who's going to back out first, save their ally, or they're both going to let them die and so you can fight it out, sort of thing. Because they're both looking in some deep crap right now. The good thing for Wonder is that he hasn't lost any production facilities, and there's not much siege coming out from Viper. That's kind of the one good thing, because Lloyd's just switching in with siege rams, and there's nothing being done right now from MBL. He's just trying to mass up the halberdiers and then waiting for the right moment to come in. He's going to wait for the blast furnace, and then we'll move in.
Yeah, we do see Viper reinforcing with a couple of Eagles there, but I don't, like you said, I mean, if this is a race for who is going to kill who first, I think MBL is the one who is going to, unfortunately, be the one to die first here. Those conks are just too big and beefy. Those Rams are really doing a great job. And, yeah, we'll see what's up. I mean, at the moment, Viper is trying to keep this one in it. Interesting play between Viper and MBL. MBL kept the Viper in it early. Viper trying to keep MBL in it now. But in the end, this might be a lost cause. It's not looking good. I think major advantage there for 8th Wonder and Loiza. But, you know, the Viper is still in. He's still harassing 8th Wonder. He still has Eagles there, but they're starting to look less and less numerous. And, man, this seems like it's got to be the beginning of the end, or maybe even the middle of the end here.
I don't think it's over just yet. I mean, MBL's still got a decent number of builds up. I mean, he's on 81. He has lost a lot, but what's really good about MBL is that his macro is very strong, and he can get it back into working shape very quickly. So I don't have any real concerns, not like massive concerns really. He's gonna start getting probably looks like elite skirms. He's in a lot of trouble though. It's not like the end of the world just yet.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think MBL, not just to pump up his tires here all day, but he is really good at taking a punch. Like I've seen him in a lot of games have his whole front area caved in, and he's able to sort of absorb that. It's almost like judo. Like he's gonna let you push on a certain area and take a few buildings, but meanwhile he's gonna be massing up and getting ready for you. And he's really good at taking the engagement when he should, and not early and not panicked.
Yeah.
So they have a chance here. They're definitely still in it. The scores seem to suggest that the Viper is, as we probably all could have guessed, quite a bit ahead. You can see those Eagles are in on Loiza's side. Do you see that on the wood line?
Yeah, he's trying to do some sprayding here now, just trying to harass where he can and so on, trying to put a little bit of pressure on Loiza. I don't think that's the right play, because what he's just done now is allow Wanda back into the game, who is he's slacking upgrades, so he's only got +2. Okay, right. Alright, I thought he had at least +4. Okay. Look at these conquistadors and Loiza. This is what I hate them so much. They're so annoying. Oh god, I hate conquistadors.
Yeah, those conks are awfully beefy. They're going to continue to annoy. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm loving Viper just taking 6-7 villagers on gold in the dead center of the map, just totally unguarded. He just, sometimes you have to take that risk, and he's getting a bunch of gold there. Like, he's been on that couple gold piles for quite some time without any harassment. And here comes Eighth Wonder pushing into Viper. Viper was trying to pop a bunch of archery ranges up, maybe for skirms at this point. I mean, it's got to be about time to transition to trash, but Eighth is in. He's going to be really screwing up Viper's economy. He is all up in Viper's grill, and yeah, it doesn't look good at all. It seems like the Eagles from Viper have slowed down too much, and man, I don't know. MBL has those halves in play. They can do a little bit of damage here, and they can slow down these Eagles, but those Eagles seem like they're, man, I'm just back and forth on this game. And Viper's gold is going to die in the middle there. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, it's just that, Aztecs are very gold intensive, these Eagle Warriors. So now the gold supply is running short. The fact that also that they just can't secure it. They just lost 2 markets, like without even a single trade card being made. So
yeah, so MBL is
tough.
Sorry to interrupt. MBL is slinging Viper what gold he has at the moment, giving Viper the chance to build some more Eagles. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even see the markets. I do see them now. There's no trade up on that side. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do see a little bit of trade trickling out from Loiza and Eighth Wonder. Look at the exodus from Loiza, though, coming across. Do you see those villagers? There's a million villagers there.
Yeah, there's a lot of villagers.
And they're all just going to come and grab gold there on the front of MBL's area. And we saw that the game is over, but I'm a little bit behind. Maybe I'm behind you. I'm at 52 minutes. But
I'm at 53 now.
Okay. So we're going to see a GG here very quickly. But a really nice game. Viper and MBL trying to claw their way back into it basically throughout the game. But in the end, it just seems like, it seems like this is too much. Too little too late. The trade has started for Team 1, and Team 2's trade is not up yet. And let me catch up. It seems it seems like I should be on time, but I'm not.
What? Oh, supremacy's been done by Loisha. It's just throwing builds in against MBL. Oh, it's brilliant. The thing is, they do quite well. I mean, they got 9 damage, and they will take care of the skirms brilliantly. They'll even match up against Halberdiers quite well. Why not?
Yeah, and at this point with 136 vills, and you're trying to build up your trade cards, of course. Like, let's sacrifice a few vills. What's the big deal?
Yeah, why not? He's even getting sappers, so they do more damage against buildings. Oh, that's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I
freaking love it.
They are just a buffer there so that those conquistadors can happily sit back and snipe everybody in the back. We do see Viper with some trash as well. He's got pikes on the field trying to chase down those conquistadors. Let's see. Trang Tre Gulk. I don't know what that means, but he is marking out that last little bit of gold from MBL. Unfortunately, Lloyds is going to be there. He's going to start sniping. And big push on the front from Loiza with those vills and with conquistadors. And this seems like too much, but we will continue to look. Viper started to trade. Finally, they have some trade going, but the thing is, they're a day late and a buck short. And we will see. I mean, we already know what's going to happen. Continued slinging from MBL, giving the Viper some wood there and some wood as well. And this one is... We're just waiting for this one to end. I feel like it's over, but we're going to wait. Viper's back in, though, with some eagles there.
Oh, a huge army. He got inside... Somehow, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, there's a big gap on the top end, so okay, must move to that way. But I mean, look at Wander's population though. He's got no army, down at 90 pop. He's suddenly just got nothing. So, as much as MBL is not that dead, like look, he's at 184. He's got a lot of trash, but he can hold on relatively well here. I mean, again, Lloyd just slowed down quite a lot because again, he invested very heavily into these elite conquistadors. Both teams haven't really invested much to trade into his point. I mean, of course, Lloyd is doing a bit better on this front, but there's not much that Lloyd can do with these conquistadors because the halberdiers do well if they get close, and so do elite skirms. It can't do much.
Yeah,
this game could go very long. I feel.
Yeah, it's true.
Ah.
Man, I don't know why I'm so froggy today. I'm like trying to call these games, but let's just let them happen, I suppose. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Viper's in the trade there. He's doing a great job slowing down that trade. And men at arms are coming from Loiza as well as squires. So we're gonna see some militia style units coming out. Conquistadors massed up under that castle for Loiza. Those guys, Loiza and Eighth Wonder, are trying to take that last bit of gold. That seems to be what the only thing that's left on the map. Nobody has been too active with monks as far as trying to grab relics that I've noticed. I suppose I could look in the overlay. But yeah, in general, this game is still on. It's still a game. And we did.
Yeah, this is still a game. In fact, I think the momentum swung back into not just by score, but in favor of Viper's team. And the reason why is, well, it's a bit bewildering. Quite frankly, I thought this game was pretty dusted, but it's just Viper making some big plays, and it's working out very well. And a lot of credit goes to MBL because we talked about earlier how MBL can recover, and he's recovered so well. I mean, yeah, he's making a lot of trash, but to get the economy for that whilst under threat by like 40 conquistadors and siege rams is very good.
Yeah, it's absolutely. That's a great point. Both players on Team 2, Viper and MBL, they're really taking a punch here. I thought this game was over, but it's continuing. It's continuing to be a fought-out game. You can see MBL is going to try to stonewall up the far side of his area. We got a wolf in play, T90s here, but we're not going to see a wolf kill. Sorry, man. But that stonewalls across that area, yeah. Stonewalls across that area are going to be great. That's going to keep Loiza from coming in and trying to snipe their trade. Meanwhile, Viper still has Eagles just running around and annoying and doing exactly what you want to do late in a multiplayer game is harass, slow down the trade. And it's starting to look like Viper and MBL have stabilized the ship, and they're actually in the score lead just by a whisker at the moment, which is crazy.
Absolutely crazy. But Viper killed a lot of trade cards there too, which is huge. He's back to the woodline again, and of course I'm fully upgraded Eagle Warriors. Like, this damage they're pulling out, they're just destroying. Oh
man.
God, that's a massacre. Add hand cannons, yeah. Oh, because here's the answer from Lloyd against his track, his champions. That's smart. Yeah, that's smart from him.
Yeah, so we're going to see those coming out. I haven't been able to watch where they're getting massed up. But yeah, I did see Loiza starting to upgrade. Oh, here we go. We got a bunch of barracks. We got a bunch coming out. At the moment, champions are there. Couple upgrades on those, and those will be ready to come in. And you can see they're doing a great job on the front, or they will do a great job on the front versus MBL, since MBL has only trash there. So we'll see how that push works out. For the moment, though, what's really important, I suppose, is that the Viper and MBL's trade is safe. And really, thank you for the follow. And really, Loiza and Eighth Wonder's trade is really not safe. Like, those Eagles are still just camping out there and really stopping any trade at all from going through. So it's
this is bad. Like, they need to sort this, because Viper's getting away with it. I don't know how he's getting away with it, but he is, and he's killed so many trade cards. Yeah, there we go. Lloyd seems to back out all those trade cards. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, bodies scattered all over that battlefield. Carts, villagers, you name it, all dying there. And in the meantime, the trade is really going well for Viper and MBL. We'll have to look in the achievements, but it seems like they're doing a whole lot better in trade. Continuing on Loiza's side, he's still got a lot of military left. He's got 40 units, but MBL has many more. It is trash versus gold units, but yeah, you can see MBL is going to get cleaned up a little bit here. Loiza's going to have some rams in play, and it's going to be interesting to see, man, are those champions going to be enough to swing the momentum back in the favor? At the moment, though,
it's not going to work.
Yeah, at the moment, the Eagles from Viper are being cleaned up, but it just feels so late. Viper grabbing ballistics, blast furnace coming for Loiza. Hussars will be coming out from MBL, so that's going to be effective if the trade needs to be rated any more than it already has. Excuse me. Yeah, and it seems like, man, hand cannons in play now for MBL. Excuse me, they're going to do great against the champions. But here comes Loiza with some rams. And man, this game just keeps continuing. I can't believe it.
I know, it's crazy, right? And it's just, This game is still continuing. The hand cannons is going to take care of all of those champions very easily. And look at their positioning as well. That's so good. Just if it's sandwiched into siege workshops, it's free pickings. And yet the siege workshop will probably go down, but matter. It's done its job anyway.
Yeah, I like that. Backing into a corner there so that the surface area of those hand cannons was much, much smaller. It's going to take a lot longer for champions to get in and access and kill them. Viper's going to drop a really aggressive castle. Do you see that right on 8th Wonder's farms there?
Oh, yeah.
If that goes up, he's going to be in really good shape, and there are tons of vills. Well, not tons. There's a good amount of vills there. That castle will go up relatively quickly. Plenty of trash to protect it. Viper has actually deleted that castle. He's going to be even more aggressive, I think. I think that castle's going to come even closer. Yeah, and it's going to be right in the middle of 8th Wonder's eco, and that's going to really put a wrench in that trade. If that castle goes up, has to be a good game, right? Oh, but it's not going to. There's too many trade cards there. The building can't even be started. Viper's going to have to back off of that, lose a few vills. No, he's going to drop it. Is it time? Put a hammer down. One of you villagers need to... Oh, man. Castle... Are you seeing this? That castle wants to go up, but...
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's still fine, even though I'm giving being built, because the trade cards are also going down to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazingly game over. I mean, what a comeback! But just, wow. Okay, I've seen some things. Oh God, where do I start with this? Right. So okay, I think Wonder kind of cocked it up slightly, and with Loisia, right. I love Elite Conquistadors. They do a lot of work, but the problem with Elite Conquistadors, I think they're just not as effective as I think as maybe Paladins are to some degree. I know Halberdiers do very well. It's just that it's a 2v2 situation, and Conquistadors aren't like a great team game unit unless it's like a situational like play. Because the Paladins could have come over to Viper and just wiped him out, because there's not much Aztecs could really do against Paladins. And also Paladins are a little bit more mobile, and there are far too many counts, I think, thrown out here by both Viper and MBL for these Conquistadors. I don't want to pin it all on the Conquistadors, because Loge made really good work with them. It's just... It's more of like a cocktail of issues, I think, that they made in the late game that just culminated in Viper to just an NBL, of course, to win them the game. I'm done. I'm done with AOC, because like that was just something I didn't expect to see.
Yeah, craziness going on. Absolutely. That was an awesome game. I'm glad we did that one. You know, like the first game was good, but the second game here was one of those ones that kept swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
Let's pop out of here and see what the achievements are. I want to see what the trade gold is. I want to see what I saw Viper had 3 relics. I want to see what the gold Viper had from... So Viper had 3.8k relic gold, which is obviously a huge boost for an Aztecs player. I didn't see him collect those, but obviously incredibly important toward that win. Let's see, trade profit for Viper was quite high. For MBL, it was quite low. Loiza had quite a bit. So trade was about equal in the end.